that the Chinese were, the Americans were super gung-ho and all right to sell this from the beginning. But there was so many developments in the saga that I think we lost track a little bit. And that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, and the same thing with me. Just your ending point there was just the fact that look at the back and forth between both of the countries on what's going on here. It was literally a tennis match of, okay, yeah, all right, we'll go back. U.S. Commerce stating, all right, you can get them by a case-by-case scenario. You have the major corporations in China getting the license approval to the point where the regulators say, no, all right, no, we don't want this BS. We want the GBs. That's it. We don't want that.
You want the truth? I don't even think they want the GB, bro. The regulator, not the. Of course, the Chinese companies want it, brother. I wouldn't argue that.
But the
regulator doesn't want American dominance in AI. Think about that. You're the Chinese regulator, right?
What is that?
You're going to do everything you can to make their life hard.
Absolutely. I agree with you. 100%.
I know. That's my little gateway there. By the way, one thing that I glossed over, Beijing did cap it at 200,000 units max, but that was after the 750,000 they had previously agreed to. That was dwindled down substantially by 550,000 units. I mean, that's not a small amount here, right? So this is the
So what's the current that they're shipping right now?
We don't know, Joey, because NVIDIA, as Adair said, NVIDIA did not comment on the report.
But Jensen was prepared, and he was producing to ship X amount over to China at some point.
My boy, he had H20s that he's got to ship that are collecting dust. I don't even know what he's doing with them.
Yeah, but he's trying
All those H20s didn't leave the country.
He's trying to send some of them over there now, at least.
Well, I'll tell you what your boys over there are trying to send. Katina Man's trying to send SpaceX and Intel to hell and Palantir the other way into the blue sky. So the boys are back. Katina Man, Neil, they're locked and they're loaded. They owe us 2 in the bag. Yeah, I know, brother. I know. I'm just saying he's intra-days trying to send it down. Yeah. The Katina Man's got 132 on that bad boy there. So shout out to my man. Anything you want to leave him off with?
Stay frosty.
Oh, man, I wanted to show this video that came out there on the wire. It came out like about half an hour. Here it is. Yeah, I'm going to show it now, Assassino, if that's all right. This is what the beautiful city of Toronto looks like right now. This isn't edited. This is literally downtown Toronto right now. It is this orange. It is this ominous. It is this Armageddon-like.
It was like that a couple of years ago, man. Even thicker smoke when we had.
It doesn't get any better. You are right, but this does definitely get any better, right? So pray for us here in Toronto. We're all trying to breathe clean air.
It looks like you've put that warm Instagram filter on it.
I promise you I did it.
No, I know you didn't.
Yeah.
I was there.
It looks like it, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
You were, you're right. We're right here. You're going that way. I'm going south.
I saw Sia walking in.
Oh, yeah?
Walking in from the gym today. I got to see Sia.
What happened?
All right, now I can't say. She gave me, she put up the finger like that.
She said you better not say what.
That means shut your mouth, right?
Oh, damn.
Shout out to Sia. All right,
man.
We're having a great time. Shout out to everybody, guys. I hope you had a fantastic time with us. We're going to send you over the big boys, Neil and Sean, now. Neil, take it over.
There might be smoke outside, but there's a smoking update from Origenics, everybody. That's ticker OGEN on the NYSE American. The company's activated its phase 2A clinical trial in Australia with its first site fully operational, and patient dosing is expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury. That's an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Origenics has spent the past year strengthening their balance sheet, raising capital, and resolving their liabilities, restoring exchange compliance as well. And the focus shifts to execution. With clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation, you can check them out, OGEN, on the NYSE American. And I was just like, first of all, those pictures are not fake. There is no filter. That's what it looks like. I've heard people say we had this before because we've definitely had. Look, this isn't the first time that there's been forest fires and it's been blowing back in. But I'll be real, like I've lived here my whole life. I don't remember any of them like this. Like I went for my walk because I'm an idiot, and I was like, I need to stretch my feet, but I didn't really go very far. But my goodness, like even just trying to breathe, it is crazy. It's definitely crazy. So be safe, everybody. I hope you. No, there's a lot of mask wearing, obviously. I think that makes a heck of a lot of sense. But you know what? the market's been pretty resilient in a bounce back. I own some more things that I didn't own before, I can tell you that much. When we left. Well, one of them, no, I already said, SpaceX, that's not, like, it wasn't a good fill in my PA when it came in. Let's be real, because it was right in front of the 135, and it blasted down. You can see Sean's print at 132. Thankfully, it's back, but it's a long term, so I shouldn't care. It doesn't really make a difference. But I picked up some Vizzle, more. I'm going to buy more of that thing. I just don't like where, you see today can rebound all it wants, but I was like, yeah, you know what? I like the structure here. It's been trending up, and this one pulled in a prior high, and I'm going to mention this yesterday. I'm like, no, I should just pick up more shares and not wait for the major moving averages. I really only own Eli Lilly, and I'm like, yeah, I need something else. So building a position so that I have two things, at least, in healthcare. And that way, I mean, ideally, at some point, this can be the same size Lilly for me. I just want to diversify a little bit more. But, there's one that I will say I'm surprised by this. Everything and more on Lucid. Everything and more on Lucid. I don't know.
When's July 20? Why is it July 20?
I don't know. Why is Lucid all the way back to the upside? They really believe it. They believe you, Lucid. They believe you. Well, it's almost at the high of the day, so I said if it got back up to the absolute top, thankfully I haven't shorted it yet, because every single short would have been probably a loser, but it's right back to where it was when the news came out. So this is the only place I would look for a reversion, and it still hasn't happened yet. I'm in Rivian on some sympathy, because it's not breaking out just yet. But wow, 22% to the upside, that's as crazy up as SpaceX is down. And remember, they still have to report earnings, SpaceX. What happens when people get a look at the valuations? Sorry, not the numbers to justify the valuation is what I should say. Like, it's not like that makes it look better. It's going to make it look worse when they report. But in theory.
That's part of what we are worried about with these companies going private and coming into public. Like, now they're going to have to open up the books, right? And I mean, I think that's what people are maybe getting ahead of the game here on SpaceX, and waiting for that August 6th sort of number to come through right there. It's a downside play for now, right now on SPCX. And like I said, we were at the gym, but we put bids all the way, man. We got 134. We went to 132.20. That happens to be, I don't know how we picked the bottom. That was just very, very random. 132.25, I guess, was where we were sitting. So that's like 134.25, 132.25. I just got a little bit more now out. Like, we don't have very much left, obviously, but SpaceX today is actually up on the day despite it breaking some of those lows. And like Neil, I did add to that position as well. So, now we're into that. And I just was informed by Fabian, it's July the 17th. We have our 5 picks. That's by Friday. We can make them now. I'm going to be making 3 picks at 3 p.m. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to make 3 picks at 3 p.m. We're going to do our 6 months moving forward, I guess, starting July the 17th. Unless you want to, we can go now.
Well, no, it's a matter of the whole. Look, I said the last time, I'm never picking anything that I'm not buying myself. That's just how I roll. So I probably already just told you one. I did.
I like that one.
So it is what it is. Like, it's just one of those, I don't know.
I'm trying not to do all tech.
Same here. Just out of curiosity, you said the 6th for SpaceX, the 6th. Was there a name?
I thought it was August 6th.
I don't know.
Heard.
I'm genuinely asking. I'm just.
No, I thought that's what I heard.
I'm genuinely asking.
Well, who am I hearing in my ear? Someone's mic is still on or off or something right there. It's all good now. So at the end of the day, so AbbVie, I like that pick. I mean, we can go over some picks. We can save them. We can save them. Maybe Adair and myself, and you can drop a couple there at 3 p.m. And then, because I heard that Joe, who was it, Sharif? Someone made some plays already, right, on the midday?
Yeah, they already kind of went through the whole list of everybody's. So that kind
of everybody's?
Yeah, they went through. I guess there was a list.
Well, Fabian told me that the only person that chose something was Joe or something.
What are you talking about, huh? I responded yesterday.
There. Okay. All right, well, we can.
There's a whole list.
I don't know this list.
I don't know this list either.
We'll see. We have to get more organized, obviously, because
nobody tells us anything.
No one tells us anything around here. All the message I got was, hey, tell the guys that we need to make 5 picks by Friday. So that's what I just announced. And I have a couple scheduled up there. And maybe we can even we try to do a way that we could get the audience to make their picks.
Well, right? I think
it's just tough.
The only way I could see to do it for the audience is to try to, like, you'd have to try to use the visualizer.
Yeah, we tried that last time.
Well, I think it's like you use the visualizer and then you use it, like, do it maybe like multiple times throughout a few days. And then you take those names and then try to maybe even use like the vote function.
I like that SpaceX look there, SPCX with that logo.
It's the coolest one.
Yeah, I like
Well, the thing about that is,
there.
why does it also get like the monolith look? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I thought. It looked
Like the
very
3D.
like unique there. Like when I saw it, because it's black, I guess, the black on black background. I guess maybe giving it that gray.
That looks
sort of a look over there.
It does look pretty cool.
Anyways, we'll have those picks by you for Friday. 5 picks we're going with.
So we're doing the we're doing like the big box and everything, and
Yeah,
everyone
we
gets
just
on
found
there.
that out.
Yeah.
So, but you rolled 3 or 5? We're gonna go 5.
Oh, we're doing 5? I heard 3. We're doing 5. I thought it was 3.
We're doing 5. Yeah, we're gonna do 5.
Okay.
We're doing
Okay, I can
5
pick.
picks. 3 is not enough.
Gives room for a couple more. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Give
cool
the
with
people what they want over here right now. But yeah, anyways, we'll have that coming up very, very soon. Joe is already given his pick, so we'll figure that all out and we'll get that going. But yeah, just into today. I mean, I think the today's story, regardless of how it really trades, I think SpaceX is a story, right? I mean, breaking through that 135, and it's not. We did a couple of videos over the last couple of days about watch lists and getting see, like this, that same picture that Sharif showed earlier. I put that up right there. This is what the skies look like here in Toronto. This is literally no filter. Just take a picture with your camera. That's actually
playing today.
It's actually from Randy. No, they've already canceled.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, the city's already canceled all the things. We don't play today. No, we played last night.
I canceled our practice, but
we have a practice.
You know what's
tomorrow
crazy?
night.
The way they have sent nothing about canceling.
Oh, really?
On top of that, I got a notification saying they need call up for the league above us. Is anyone on your team interested?
No, High Park.
Are you crazy? Like, there's no chance I'm going to recommend any of my kids. Usually, you'd
Well,
want
you
to
have kids
send.
with but they're going to cancel it. They're not allowed to.
There's no chance you're allowed to play in this.
The city of Toronto canceled all outdoor activities. Period.
You
already.
shouldn't.
So
I shouldn't have gone for the
if you're in a
walk.
camp
No, I'm
or
just
you're
joking.
doing, you should have gone.
I saw some dude like
go
going
for
for a
the walk.
hardcore run. He had like
I see some people.
This dude had a weighted vest on.
Yeah, man, that was
And
Joe.
it looks. Well, it wasn't Joe.
Oh, it wasn't
A
Joe.
weighted vest, doing his run, Queens Park area. I'm like, you realize what it's like outside. This dude's gonna fall out.
Oh man,
Crazy.
Yeah,
Straight up crazy.
So I just wanted to say, it's nuts here, but we got a little sidetracked there. I was going to say we did want to look at SpaceX 135. I had it at the bottom just to look at it. I wasn't here when it broke, unfortunately. I stayed as late as I could, and then I went over to the gym, but it broke. Yeah, I know, I saw it. So there it goes all the way to the downside, and it was right here, just whoosh. Like once it lost it, I got in that same minute, I guess, at 12:05, I got 134s. And then I guess 4 or 5 minutes later, we got 132s. And, now I'm just trying to get a little bit more out. I want to get more short, but it's not going to be until 139. And I don't know if that's going to happen here today. So that's going to be a play for me if it does come in. Otherwise, let's hold this. And I think we'll whack this short right here, whack-a-mole. 134.50 for a whack-a-mole trade through this little bit of area here. So we'll see if that comes in. I'm thinking it may. And if it does, man, I'm here for it. It's 134 and change probably coming out on SpaceX. So let's wait to see if we could do something there. And that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for on SPCX. So yeah, a little 134 action there on a breakdown. And then the other trade that we still have Intel. But again, very, very small. We emptied it all out right here at 102. Nothing out down here sub 100. I didn't put any bids out. Could have. Now I'm just going to wait. I was waiting to get more, a little shorter on view up, but there's Intel long first, then whack-a-mole down short side right there. That's from, those carnival games where those little guys pop up and you whack them. Okay, anyways, that's that. And then Palantir, let's go, man. Palantir is actually one of my best trades. Hey, what's up, Brendan? There we go. I don't know why does Brendan have an R on his hat there? Okay, there we go. It should be a B.
No, but isn't it
RJ?
Is it because of RJ Scourge and then the Rivian? Is that the thing?
Maybe it was that.
That's my guess. Because
it could be.
Because Brendan apparently, so people have said, and I think it's true. He looks a lot like RJ Scourge, the CEO of Rivian.
Mm-hmm.
He dressed up as him for Halloween one year. I'm using the air quotes because, he looks like the guy, so all he had to do was show up to work that day.
Yeah, Brendan came into work that day for that.
We dressed up for Halloween. Brendan just showed up.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's for sure.
It is.
And then we did have, so the reason why I said I was proud of this one is like, we waited for this. So we actually got stopped out there, and I must have been, I don't know if we were negative or not on Palantir at that point, but then we waited for the move to come back in. We didn't chase. You know, we were very, very patient. We got a few loads down here at 133. Then it came back in again at 12:30. Boom, chaka-laka-laka-laka. Making money when you're not even sitting at your desk. I mean, we put a bid right there to take that. There it goes. Boom, right there, 134.15. Trying to go higher outside right now of Palantir. So let's see if this one wants to work out to the upside. It's PLTR. You know, $3 in the money, SpaceX, $1 here on Palantir, and 6 on Intel. So 6, 1, 7, 8 and change right now on these 3 trades. But we'll have to wait to see. We do have a losing. It's all right. We do have a losing trade on LCID, and you know, I wish I could show you more, but this is how losing trades are supposed to look for me. In and out. You know, cannot hold things for too much damage there if there is a problem. And then we'd have my biggest loss today is, well, obviously it's more than that lucid trade was this one right here, SK Hynix. So we did try the 180. You know, we had written that down. I thought after a 27%, this is one of my top ideas today. After a 27% move yesterday, SK Hynix, I thought was going to hold this 180. And this time we actually were super patient, man. We didn't even get in till about 10:15. Took a little bit, and I thought I was going to run because we had made the trade here. We had talked about it, and I was like, maybe it's a little bit too early. It was 9:50, but that was the trade to hold. And then that ripped. We tried it again. Once it lost, we got out. So that's not it. It's right here where we lost it. That's 179. So we lost about $1 there on that trade as we'll look to continue to trade here today. So that's just a little bit of an overview of all the ideas that I've had so far today. And obviously more to come, I hope, as this day goes on.
Speaking of more to come.
Mordecai.
Mordecai.
Where's that from? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. The only Mordecai I know is this is weird.
From a cartoon? Or?
No, there was a baseball player named Mike Mordecai. And
yeah.
The only reason I remember him, he played for the Montreal Expos, and he once played every position on the diamond.
Right, yeah.
He was like this journeyman player, and there was one game where they just decided, hey, let's get this guy in at every single position.
It's probably a Bible reference.
That's literally all I know.
Someone in the chat just mentioned that.
Yeah, it is a Bible reference, but I don't know why else we would think of Mordecai. We have a super chat, so thank you for the super chat. I'd say I'd give you a shout out, but again, I don't. Is that Arabic? I don't know.
Looks like it to me.
But thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. RXT for a swing.
I mean, I noticed a 6 in there.
Well, I can see the 6.
So thank you, 6.
Yeah, like that's.
We're not trying to be rude.
No, it's just, I would love to shout. I would love to shout you out. Do we know what's the currency, Andre? Do you know? Oh, he doesn't.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the question is about whether you like Rackspace for a swing or not. Which all we can do is look at the chart and give our opinions on it. First thing, the good upward sloping moving averages I generally like for uptrends. That's the good. Apparently it's Hebrew, so thank you. I still can't read it, but that is Hebrew. The good is that upward sloping moving averages. Other good is that it has this theoretical support at $4. What I would consider the bad is since the breakout. Oh no, wrong tool. Since the breakout. Oh great. No, I can't. There we go. Wouldn't even let me change it. Sometimes it gets a little slow. There's a breakdown. It's still trying to find a bottom from breaking this little dip trend, which might be 4, but also might be that moving average. It's underneath the 50, and to me, I always want to see it hold a level break or like really give a test of that bottom. It just kind of broke the trend. So I always prefer something fundamental. Like the swings, I only ever swing almost always one kind of setup. If it's not in a clear upward trend, then it's always something holding, like breaking back above the major moving average, holding it and breaking it out. That's basically it. The only other time that I took a swing that wasn't that was when, in my opinion, the market mispriced the WonderFi deal. And like to me, that was just like structural. Like I felt like the market gave it free money. I got my eyes on a different one, but I don't want to say it because like I think I'm missing something on this one Toronto one, but I'll get to it a bit later. But thank you for the super chat there, Rackspace. Sometimes you do your own diligence. It doesn't really matter what we think, right? You've got to find what works for you and what you like. It is still in a general uptrend. That's one thing I really take away from Brian Shannon. That's helped me a lot when looking at the bigger picture. What is the slope of the 200 period moving average? And how much do you really like something if it's downward sloping? So Rackspace does have that nice upward slope. Quickly, I am in that Rivian, which is ideally supposed to be, here, this is what it did on the Lucid thing. So there's Lucid move down, gap to the upside. It went ham this morning and then pulled back in. So I'm looking for another reversion. This time not off the low. Well, it is off the low, but not off the lows on a down move, but pulling back and looking for the volume-weighted average price. Meanwhile, Lucid, I might end up in opposing directions here because Lucid is threatening. There's your breakout from the morning trade. Here's the trend line. And here's it threatening the trend line. I want to look break and then into VWAP on LCID. So those are a couple of things that I'm watching, at least for now. Obviously, eyeballs everywhere, and we'll have the scanners up. It's not a lot of volume right now. We're just kind of drifting higher.
Yeah, there's not a whole heck of a lot going. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Mordecai. I thought like when I was saying it that I recognized it from somewhere. I was watching the other day.
That's a good
was
movie,
on
too.
TNT or something. It was a movie that I'm not very familiar with, but I want to get familiar with. It's Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell.
Yes.
Yeah, like I was watching it. I said, I remember this, and there were some really funny parts.
was
And I was
that
like, you
guy's
know what, I
name?
want to try to watch it. Well, yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I want to try to watch this from the beginning again. I just
Coffee Black was the name of Andre's character.
I only caught
Coffee Black.
a little bit of it there, and it was really a fun
It's
movie,
ridiculous.
but, yeah, that was pretty ridiculous. So I saw it on cable, so it was, I think there was a few words that were probably bleeped out there, but I really like Will Ferrell. So, I mean,
Hilarious.
who doesn't? I
guy's
mean,
hilarious.
some of those Saturday Night Live skits were like the cowbell
Oh.
and everything like that. It's just it's too much. And
Back when Saturday Night Live was like for like real. Like,
yeah,
It was so.
I mean, I don't mind it now, but yeah, back then it was a lot better. And then we also had what I don't understand they don't do enough of on Saturday Night Live now is one of the best skits of all time, and you can even bring this guy back for that. Is why don't they do Celebrity Jeopardy? You know, like
Thank you.
They could just easily like mimic so many people. I don't know. I really feel like that's silly that they
Not
don't
a
have
fan of the
that.
ladies, are you, Trebek?
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, and then what? Will Ferrell could just do that character until and whatever.
No,
His aging doesn't.
The best was Burt Reynolds. It was
Yeah, there was a Burt Reynolds.
Norm Macdonald, rest in peace, doing Burt Reynolds.
There was just, anyways, whatever. We're off on
Yeah.
that one. Dude, was that
I don't
super chat? I
even-
did see Chris
I don't
there
even
show
care.
up.
It's
Did
just
you already
so
handle
funny.
that? Keep up the good job, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about the Bible there. Read story in the Bible on Queen Esther. So.
Okay.
Okay, well, we may or may not do that, but thank you so much for that, and we will definitely have a look at the Bible. I heard it's a pretty decent book.
It's the most popular book in the world.
Yeah, it's one of the most popular. Yeah, you got to read
No,
it. It's really popular.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's been some movies made on it and everything like that, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely check
We used
it
to have
out,
Bible study at my house.
as we have some.
We
fun.
rotate it.
We have some fun.
Rotate.
Around.
What else we got going on here?
Okay. Yes. VEE. Oh, by the way, JTAI. Another one of these names. I heard Sharif mentioning it. It finally stopped halting about 1,000 times today, and you can see what's been happening with it. JTAI right now, GTFO if you're long, because it's making some movements right now into the downside. So we're gonna have to wait to see what winds up happening right now with GTAI finally making that move lower into 360. Some of those past halt levels, watch out if this breaks through 345 is GTAI downside right there on some halts. And then we had what?
A V faded all the way to the
V
low.
as well, and a whole bunch of, Nostradamus, predicted the market move. I mean, anybody that predicted the market to go up really nailed that one. I mean, that was a great call there. The idea about moving forward is, and we talked about that story with Warren Buffett when he was talking today, and I heard it on the radio on the way in, that he remembers the Dow being at 100 points. And then was really surprised when it got to 1,000. And right now, the Dow's 52,000. And it just goes to show you, investing in America and being strong with the American ideas and sort of the thought of capitalist ideas and just being able to, engineer your own businesses and all that kind of stuff. And you see, with Facebook and Google and some of these other, there's so many names, forget about it. We can go way back, GE and whatever you want, XOM, like all of these big, huge American companies just keep on growing. And even to the point where we are today, looking at an XOM almost at all-time highs. And it's just like these names that have been around forever just continue to grow. And sure, there's been some that have faltered,
There always are.
There's been buyouts and things like that have happened to different stocks. But at the end of the day, like solid companies, solid investments. And it's part of what his thesis, of course, with Apple and, now with Google and Alphabet, there's been some talks there about that being like a sort of a safe haven tech play as well. So I think it's just maturing up with some of those levels. And if you have money, I really do believe, and we're going to give some of our picks, just we're having fun with all that and blah, blah, blah. But I really do believe time in the market, is something that's, you're going to look back and be like, oh, that was a stock I should have bought or whatever. At the end of the day, you buy good companies, especially on the index side of things. You mentioned AAPL, but what about, the IBB, the Invesco Biotech, the XBI? Sure, they won't appreciate as much as these individual names, which probably the individual names are probably better for the purpose of this exercise that we're doing with picking names. But as for investments, I mean, those are pretty solid, especially if you want to hold them for a little while and you believe in the rhetoric of moving forward.
I think sometimes if you're not fully bearish, you might like the fully bullish, you might like the ETFs a little bit better, just to spread the risk around a little bit.
Opposite of SpaceX there in the chat.
Opposite of SpaceX.
You're taking a risk with
but you could hold it for a long time. One thing you want to do when you have time in the market, as they always say, is don't fight the Fed.
Yes.
And the Fed's changing.
Or don't fight Adara is what I'm also
also definitely don't fight Adara.
Don't fight the graphics.
Figuratively and literally too. Straight up. She'll mash you. Let's go to the screen.
You heard that fun transition, Neil? It's funny because Kevin Warsh, we're going to talk about in a second, actually said the trend is your friend today during the meeting. So he's stealing your terminology. Kind of an interesting look there. Regardless, here's today's segment of To the Window, to the Wall, where we pick up an infographic window here and we talk about it on the wall. Yes, guys, you're going to hear me rant about the Fed again. I promise it's the last time for a while, because this is the final day of the 2-day semi-annual monetary policy report. This time here for Fed Chair Warsh. This was his first time through the ringer of 2 consecutive days of hearings. The first day this time around was with the House Financial Services Committee, which, as I said, really you got questions about 2 things. You got questions about the task forces, and then you got questions here about his independence. Now, I found the lines of questioning to be a lot more interesting and specific at the Senate Banking Committee hearing today. So I want to get into it. This infographic, not yet on XOTV Research. You can catch it tomorrow afternoon, I believe is what I've scheduled to post it. But I want to go over it today because that's when the hearing was. So this is in chronological order, left to right and then down, left to right. So just 5 instances that I thought were pretty interesting. Starting here with the first round of questions from Senate Banking Committee Chairman Tim Scott, who was asking here, how are you guys deciding to, gauge economic data? And Kevin Warsh actually brought up himself in his response, CPI and PPI being cooler than expected, but he had a caveat. He said a central bank would be happy when data goes in the right direction. These are all imperfect measures of the state of underlying inflation. So you might be asking, what is he looking for here to gauge inflation? You didn't really get an answer on that because, as we know, and some senators actually addressed it directly, he's not going to answer questions on that. So they honestly really didn't even bother to ask him, which I thought was kind of an interesting tack. We're going to head over here to Senator Mike Rounds, who was asking about the state of collaboration in the Fed. As Fed Chair Warsh tries to change the Fed, how is it working with the existing Fed members? And apparently pretty well, because he's saying that he's found that, quote, my colleagues are really open to change, and they've made a lot of progress in, as he kept saying, the 7 weeks he's been there. We're going to slide over here to, as you guys know, a man I talk a fair amount about here, Senator John Neely Kennedy out of Louisiana. This was a line of questioning that actually started with a prior senator, Senator Chris Van Hollen, but it was about, hey, Warsh, are you talking to Trump? And if you are talking to Trump, what are you talking to Trump about? Are you independent? So basically, at this point, Senator Kennedy just asked him, other Fed chairs, I'm assuming, have talked to the president. What is the relationship of those conversations and the nature of those conversations? That's what people want to know. And Warsh basically said that he has not been asked to do anything appropriate by President Trump, and if he had, he wouldn't engage in that behavior. Now we move on to more task force questions, or as a lot of senators are referring to them as working groups. So Senator Tina Smith over here basically was asking Warsh specifically about this productivity task force, which we've talked a lot about. The members include Mark Andreessen, who is a venture capitalist who's actually on President Trump's tech task force, which feels a bit odd. And then you also have, of course, the current CEO of Xbox, Asha Sharma. So Tina Smith asked, this is not really connected to people on Main Street. How are these Wall Street heavy task forces going to be able to connect to the people? And Warsh kind of didn't really answer the question directly. He said there's 3 of the smartest people he knows, but they're not going to be the only one making the decisions, because of course it's going to be himself and the 18 other Fed members. And last but not least, we've got Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock here asking questions about, hey, if we have a situation where AI models continue to not be as profitable as we'd like them to, what's going to happen to the economy? Interesting question, and Warsh's response, I think, is even more interesting, because he said, and I quote, if they were to disappoint investors, I think the capital markets would dry up for them. Now, here's the thing. As Warnock then responded to Warsh's response, that perspective is very much focused on Wall Street and not on the average investor and the average American. So that kind of disconnect, or some senators viewing Warsh as being disconnected from the average American, that came up to a degree that I wasn't quite expecting here at the Senate Banking Committee hearing. Hopefully that wasn't too long-winded. It might have been, but either way, you can find this infographic for yourself tomorrow on X at TTV Research. That was today's segment of To the Window, To the Wall. As always, if you have suggestions, just let me know in the chat. But in the meantime, we're going to send you back over to the guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Adair. You'll always be abreast of what is going on at the Fed. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Bet that.
Adair likes dealing with the Fed and
Yes.
covering them. So it's her Super Bowl. You know, we wait for these IPOs to come through. She waits for Fed monetary meetings.
Exactly.
You know,
And sorry, one thing before
wrong
the
with that.
super chat. There was an update today suggesting that Anthropic around October. So JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley are working on the listing.
Get the money
Go
counters
figure.
out for those guys again.
Yeah, go figure. Like,
Let me see, 100 million shares times a quarter of a cent per
Oh,
share.
goodness.
And yeah, it sounds good, guys. Bonuses for you, and that's why you want to buy this.
that's why
stuff.
we like the bank.
That's why you got to buy that stuff, right?
Sprinkle it in everywhere.
Goldman Sachs, you said, opened up their mattress there and lifted it up and found $4 billion.
It's ridiculous.
Just sitting there right now.
Revenue went
Meanwhile-
from 16 to 20.
I know.
16 expected, 20 billion in revenues. 20. Like 4 billion. I know it's only 20. People beat earnings expectations by 25%. It absolutely happens. But sometimes it's the raw number that gets you. And they were only up a few points. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, I like the XLF. Super chat from Chain Reactor. Two questions. Lay's deal Lay's deal with SpaceX on quantum launch, and is Lunar or Moonshot that actually going to work out? Lay's is a problem. So, anyways, like Lay's is one of those. I don't know. It's an absolute like shot play, I would think, and it's not like nothing about it has anything working in the chart. So like it's like everything, more or less everything is wrong in the chart. So you need strong fundamental reasons, which I can't say that I do. So yeah, I think if you're loving it, fine, fair enough. But there's nothing I can look at there that gives you almost like there's no leg to stand on with that one. I think with LUNR, at least if you look at this, there's two things, and I know it doesn't look that much better, but there's two things that kind of make it not so terrible here. It's at a massively key price level, with the potential at that big price level to break a trend, and it's still upward sloping on the 200, which is generally something that I think is not terrible. But that also means if it breaks this, you're probably looking for maybe 23, if not the 200 period moving average. But there is a very distinct downward trend, right? Like it broke this one, tried to go, failed it, and then started another channel. So there's a potential like scalp trend break for this. So thank you, Chain Reactor. I think when you look at those small ones, I always feel the same way. If you like them and you buy them before the trend breaks, then, you know, if you're accepting of 0 for a shot play, fair enough. This is the one that's on my radar, and there's nothing about it that has it breaking yet. So either I see $5 and wait to just buy that level and then stick it in and hope, and then that's just a complete shot, or it breaks the 50 period and I get in a little bit later. But those are tricky. I think you have to be willing to, you know, if you're just sitting there on the downward trend, you're basically hoping it doesn't loosen itself. I only say Lucid because I just got in.
We're just looking at something. Yeah, Lucid. You said Lucid? I just saw it.
Is it
Crazy. I just saw a story come up about Lucid on Benzinga, but it's nothing. It's just talking about it. That's crazy that you had mentioned.
Oh yeah, it did.
I just wanted to say, like, you know, just looking at something there. Why is the U.S. going to do anything about Cuba? Like, that's the one thing I don't really. They were just saying that that's sort of the next shoe to drop, apparently, Cuba, and I was just like. I don't know, man. Do we really need military action down there in Cuba to accomplish anything? I don't know what really the reason would be for that. And maybe Adair can find that. I thought I just saw something there. It was on Twitter about it.
Yeah, the only headline I have is, quote, the U.S. has explored the possibility of an air assault on Cuba, as reported by CBS. We already know that he wants Marco Rubio to, quote, do something about Cuba, to use his own words he's used before. So we don't really know what something is going to be done about Cuba, but apparently that something could be, unfortunately, an air assault.
Yeah, it's
like,
never.
I get it, like,
it's never
great
about
beaches. great cigars, some cerveza.
It's a Russia thing.
What else? I mean, it's so crazy that they're actually thinking about doing it. Well, what about Russia?
But everything is a proxy war. Everything is just proxies at this point.
I don't know, man.
Like it's tit for tat. It's like, see what we're gonna do here because you haven't ended the war in Ukraine or whatever. Because what possible reason could there be other?
Well, that's why I was honest. I'm trying to honestly ask.
Other than the other thing
people
too
in the
is
chat are like, they're not saying anything. They're saying
justifying
cigars,
increased military spending,
all this kind of stuff. It's not all that kind of stuff.
The military spending has to go somewhere.
But I do get it. Like if they are, how about just on defense instead of offense? I mean, you could always. Yeah. There we go. I'm just hearing it in our ear right now. Cuba air raid possibility. Right.
Oh, there. This is imminent.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I just heard it in my ear.
Yeah, I'm not.
So yeah, I don't support it or think it's necessary.
Hit the restart now.
CBS actually now saying that apparently U.S. officials have told them, but that just because they're planning to maybe do an air assault in Cuba doesn't mean they've decided on whether or not to do an air assault in Cuba. They're just considering the possibility of said air assault. So.
Oh man. I wonder about Greenland. Are they considering that still? I mean, there's just so much. And I
think he might be because I remember that was brought up. We thought this was dead, but he brought it back to life here at that NATO summit last week. It was mentioned a couple of times, but not in any serious terms.
All right, man. This may happen, so we got to get ready to go again. I mean, someone just said in the chat, time to flip long. Well, I'm already long Palantir, so Palantir, the data, all this kind of stuff. I think, dealing with immigration, dealing with, and I don't know. That's what I was saying. I know that there was an incident a couple months ago about a boat that was coming I think it had some American citizens on it and was shot down or something like that. And Rubio was involved looking at that. All right. Also, Microsoft has just replaced a security chief, apparently, as well. So that just came in. So we'll get more on that one. But I don't think they've replaced 8 executives, I guess, or something like that at Microsoft.
We're hearing all this stuff.
Let's wait to hear. I literally just heard it. I think. I think Adair might have heard that too. So maybe you got to reset your thing there. Sometimes our little chat programs here are a little off. Needless to say, on the news. But so anyways, Microsoft not really moving around too much at these levels. So maybe something to consider here moving forward with Microsoft and, the cutting of some employees. And the thing is that we do know that everything's getting just a little bit tighter at these big tech companies, right? Meta did most recently, I think it was a couple percentage points off of their staff as well. And, just some different cutting of jobs and getting a little thinner there on the employee side of things, which is kind of unfortunate. I think it was Snapchat also laying off some employees there. So it's not necessarily a sign of trouble. It's what happens. And I don't want to feel too bad for these high executives. Like they're talking about the chief of security there at Microsoft. And I don't think they mean the guy watching the door. That's what I was saying there. I thought there was 8 people that have been cut there. These are good. There it is. Top executives, to force an AI overhaul. So the thing is like, I don't really cry for me, Argentina, for this because a lot of these employees are probably well paid in both stock option and that kind of stuff anyways. But still losing a job, not something that we want to celebrate there. But Microsoft is not doing anything on this news. So we can wait for it. It's only 2:40 right now. And I'm just sitting here. We're going to go to Adair in a second. Just want to review some trades here because VWAP is upon us now, and that's where we took it out. So about a half hour ago when we came on, it was 2:50, half hour ago, it's 15 minutes ago, we took a VWAP trade. I'm not sitting here right now again. I'm actually down here at 135 to see if we do get another fill back into this area where we'd sort of danced around before. And now we have the 200 period moving average. So SpaceX, again, like the short was there. We put this on our Twitter at 10 o'clock when we took this trade. Was back and forth for us a little bit. We had to actually average into it, back up into VWAP, and then it was an absolute collapse when we broke that printed price of 135, right? I mean, that was the price that everybody got in at early. And if you got in about a month ago and you didn't actually how about that?
Has it been a month? Exactly?
It was June 5th. No, it was June 12th. Sorry. And then there was the weekend. That's why it looks like June 15th. But June the 12th. So SpaceX had been alive now for just over a month, and it comes right into the price that everyone thought they missed of 135. So you can get it on sale right now for the low price for now of 135.
The truth is you almost always get those.
That's what I was going to say.
Almost always
Cerebras just came back in as well. That came into the 180, right? I mean, I think CBR, and Oh man, we really got to go to Adara. I just keep.
Oh, we're supposed
talking.
to go to Adara?
I think so. CBR. Oh, to Sia. Okay, even you know, I always get in trouble because I say Adara and then I throw it to Sia and then she sort of gives me
The highest of compliments, Sia.
I noticed. She's like, damn, this guy always calling me the wrong name over here. All right, let's go over to Adara. Sorry, I said it again. Let's go over to Sia.
You spent like a couple of years saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, and she's just as professional and great at her job. So of course, it's natural that we say, but we are going to Sia.
Yeah, let's go.
Never a bad compliment to be called Adara. Anyways, let's take a look at how the markets are doing, starting with taking a look at the 3 major averages. And the IWM, the SPY, is currently up very close to 0.40% on the day. The triple Qs are down very close to 0.30% on the day. The Dow up 0.28%. And the IWM up 0.42%. Now, let's take a look at how SKHY is doing right now. We had that really drastic pull down, still continuing down 8% on the day. It had rebounded after that Monday AI-driven semiconductor sell-off that we all saw, but it's continuing to drown yet again. And yes, of course, it has started pulling all the chip stocks down. AMD, INTC, Cisco, Dell, MU still continuing to go a bit down, not a bit, significantly down. Dell is down 11.5%, MU is down 7.5%. We have SNDK that has made a little bit of a reversal from the 13% pull down. It's still down 7.4% at the moment. And let's just, before we go to Adara, take a quick look at this ticker here. SECZ, that is securitized, has popped roughly 15% after unveiling its plans to help public companies issue their stocks on blockchain rails, that is in partnership with Cantor and Fitzgerald and Co. So the company said in a statement that it will allow firms to issue, distribute, and at the same time service digital securities using its tokenization infrastructure. It has not specified a rollout date. So that SECZ is up very close to 12.5% on the day, made a little bit of a reversal, but let's stop and go to Adara.
Let's get into this story here with Microsoft and these executives that are reportedly potentially getting laid off here. So this is the information reporting that the new security chief of Microsoft, who is Hayat Gilot, that she's apparently going to be replaced to get at least 8 executives because they reported to the former security chief here at Microsoft, Charlie Bell. The point of this overhaul, I guess, this revamp, is to force AI security to be overhauled completely. So basically a little bit of context here. Charlie Bell was the former security chief of Microsoft. He actually only joined Microsoft, though, in 2021, basically after he wasn't promoted to lead AWS as people thought he might be. So left Microsoft, or came to Microsoft rather, because of a failed promotion. Don't know how good of a sign that is. And then I guess was promoted to a new role in Microsoft, or maybe not promoted, just moved to a new role in Microsoft in February of 2026 as Hayat Gilot took control. So, I mean, again, the information article says that she's a new security chief. She's been there for about 5 months. But either way here, this overhaul reportedly is happening. If I get more details, I'll let you know. But it sounds like, again, these layoffs have to do with trying to force changes and improvement related to AI. Back to you.
Okay. That's what you got to do, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. Sometimes it's not the end of the world to get those changes. Sometimes could be a good thing, too, for the stock. So there it is, man. We just talked about it. It's a chicken dinner winner one more time. We did have some pretty good curry chicken, I thought, for lunch. I thought it was okay, considering where it could be. Yeah, maybe it was a bit dry, but at least it was loaded with sauce, which was okay. There. Okay, so it just came in into 135. So I took 135.16, sorry. So that's just hitting right now. So we just got filled like literally a minute ago. And now we'll have to wait to see if this does take down. And I said we were going to get out in front of 135 anyways. So we have a small piece left. The next trade, I think, is a breakdown of this. And so we will punch the short of 134.40. We're about 15 minutes away. Neil and I, well, he already gave one pick. I'll give another pick. You can do another one too, whatever anybody wants. The idea is we're going to try to do C and Adara. We're going to try to do 5. And you can do as many as you want.
Are we going to have given them all by Friday?
Friday, I think the 17th
Are we
was the
doing 5 picks now?
Yeah, is that okay by you, or?
Well, I'm going to save 2 of them for Friday.
Okay, I get to keep one of them. I had to dump one of them.
There we go. See,
so you had 6.
Well, there we go. So
Fabian told me 3.
He's got 6 over there. No, it was 3 because the first time. And then I messaged Fabian. I was like,
that's
bro,
fine.
let's just, if you can set up the program to do 5. It's just more ideas, more stocks to talk about. Like, they don't have to be right or wrong. Or we could have got really creative and maybe we could have done like one ETF. Like we could have said something like that, but we'll just roll it like that. We'll give our picks in a minute.
I will have an ETF.
People don't want to pick right now with their heart. You would probably decide on which game, but the odds right here, about to start right now, England favored right now to beat Argentina. So we'll see what happens on this trade. You got to pay 30 cents on the dollar right there for England, and Argentina basically paying 1-to-1. So that's what this minus 130 for England means, and the plus 105. So you got to bet $130 to make 100 on England. So you got to pay 30% premium to bet on England. And Argentina, you're going to get 1-to-1 on your money, and you actually get a little 5-spot back. If you bet $100, you get 105. So, we can update that as the match is going on, but I don't really necessarily want to ruin what's happening out there to people that are obviously paying attention to that game. So we talked about it yesterday as goals were updated. It's hard to ignore the chat.
I don't know who's going to score first, but the first England goal will be created by Saka. It's going to be, I'm not saying he's going to score it, but he will create that.
Saka?
He will create the first.
I don't know who that is. So
but
I hope he does.
I hope so too. Anyways, that's with the heart more than anything else. Family in England, I don't have dogs in the fight, but it's just I've always rooted for them. So you just cheer for that.
They have some allegiance to.
It ain't like where's Joe? I'm just gonna throw something out there. If you have West Indian blood, then all the blame for why the West Indies are never represented in the World Cup is on Jamaica. Because FIFA back in the day was willing to allow the West Indies to play together as essentially one nation, the same way that they do for cricket. And Jamaica's like, no, we're good. We're good on our own. And that's not really working out well for anybody. It's just going to throw that one out there.
They might be expanding the next World Cup to 64 teams. Apparently.
Look,
so, no matter what they wind up doing, it's, you still have the Final Four, which is the top 4 teams heading into it. So I think by expanding it, I think all you're really doing is giving, more exposure to some of these nations, and then they just get eliminated. They don't make the second round, or if they do, like
that Cape
Verde. Yeah, it was a fly. There was something going around there.
Yeah.
But anyways, interesting talk here about football, and we'll wait to see what winds up happening moving forward.
Have you got chicken dinner in PUBG before, Sean? The super chat here. Before we get back to the market, I just saw that was up there.
Isn't PUBG a video? What is
PUBG?
I don't know what that is.
Phone-based game. It's a shooter game, and it's really cool. Yeah. So it's when you win, basically, it shouts the tag is winner chicken dinner.
Oh, I don't even know what that game is. So
yeah. So if you
my answer to that,
it's just
unfortunately,
for example, in Fortnite, if you won, you'd have a victory royale.
They do a dance.
PUBG, you'd have winner chicken dinner.
Okay. Yeah. No, I've played Fortnite before. My kids, my son was into Fortnite there, and he used to emoticon on me and everything like that. So that was.
Fortnite, I know, not that one.
I can't deal with kids these days and their games. Like the way that this guy, my son could just snipe, it's going crazy there. He spends a lot of his time.
Come on.
Here we go. Continuation swing on something. I don't know.
Nick Dubs looking for
AEHR.
I think we were talking about this morning, were we not? There was a question about it, and I was just like, the quarter was good. It's super thinly traded. It's going to be a growthy name, and the swings are going to be absolutely insane. I think what we were more interested in was holding the 50. I'm pretty sure what I said was I want to see it hold the 50 period. They just reported earnings. You're getting I don't like that daily candle. See, I'm just going to show you guys something, just so you know. It didn't do this yesterday. This is the actual aftermarket candle, the big one that you see. That's this aftermarket candle. It actually closed at 70. Gapped up. So to me, this, you don't want to see that on the daily. It gapped up, failed the break of 100, and is now back under the 50-period moving average. So for me, by rule, it's wait. It's still upward sloping 200-period. It's post-earnings, but you got to give it the 3-day and a chance to maybe pull back and consolidate after the earnings because you failed where you wanted it to hold, which is up above the 95. So this one looks good, but to me, it'd be in more of a wait-and-see mode more than anything else. I did throw in the chat while we're kind of going back and forth. There was a trend break on SLV, which I'm still surprised got all the way back to where it was this morning, which was also shorting the prior day prior day lows, not prior day highs. Topping tail, trend break, play into VWAP, didn't get the other fill in there as well. And then Rivian, I don't know, it got one pop in, but now it's going to lose this support level in one more tick. So I'm going to jump out of it. I still have my offers from when I first got in, but once it breaks, you'll see that. you could tell my hands weren't on the keys. Like once it broke that candle right there, we jump out of Rivian. So it was a lot better yesterday when Lucid was going ham off the lows, but you can't expect it. I was expecting maybe like even half of what it did yesterday in the afternoon. So just SLV, and then maybe hunting from some other opportunities. LS9, who's holding SpaceX up? When does it break lower? Some of what probably holds SpaceX up is, remember, everyone's paying for locates. There's a few factors. I mean, you've got lockup, so there's some sellers that can't sell. So that's giving it probably a little bit more floor on the average day than you would expect. The fact that people have to pay for shorts are not free, that again is another thing that maybe slows things down a little bit. But I don't know, like, is it you saying, like, is it really being held up all that much? I don't think so. Really? Is it being held up all that much? Maybe none of these days, with the exception of here, whatever this was, that looks like it's the first of the month, maybe none of them were exorbitantly bad, but I don't think anyone's really holding this bid up. There's a possibility that things get very ugly when the lockups go, if they haven't gotten ugly already. Like that's where that 100 level probably comes in post earnings, I would think. But outside of those two factors, I don't know that it's being held up. That wouldn't be my contention at all. It's just slowly gliding lower, or yeah, sometimes rapidly. I get it. It hasn't, like, it's not doing what it was doing at the beginning of the month, but it's so steady Eddie. Like every single day, there's like a trend break or pop and fade or straight flush. Like there's this is the one day where it was strong for most of the day here, and then maybe this day doesn't even count because most of the day downside. No, there's no up days on this stock, so it's not being held up.
Yeah, no, I've been shorting. Yesterday we were short on SpaceX right here at 139. And we saw that right into here, that collapse into the end of the day, and now we're waiting for yet again another possible collapse. And yeah, the only thing I would have, same thing. I would have said that 135, but I wasn't here to see it. There was obviously no defense of it. It fell absolutely right through.
It saw it, smoked it, dollar slippage.
Yeah, exactly, to the downside. So right there, as fast as you like, as fast as you could have got the long, you were out of the long. And now we'll wait to see what happens here at the end of the day. Look, with all this kind of, I know Palantir's, should be maybe good during, war times or whatever, but we're hearing like starting to ramp up a little bit there in Iran. Some of that talk is not overly positive. So I'm just starting to exit out, man. I mean, I don't think this is a great fill here to get out at 50s, but we took some more out on Palantir, and so be it, man. I mean, I don't really, I like the stock, obviously, and may or may not be one of my picks moving forward. But, this level right here, I'm going to try to get out of Palantir, especially if we get up to this 133, 138. And if we can hold a little bit, into VWAP, that'd be kind of cool. But we've basically spent the whole day underneath VWAP minus like right here. Like forget about the open. That is what that is. And then, that's just testing it. This one was a nice break there. And we were long. So, giddy up. That was a good one. But it gets up to 135 and change and then just whacks itself right down. And that's where we get that move back in again and able to take it. But, you got to be very, very careful here as USO and starting to ramp up again. And I see some, you have Battle up. And, that was a name that we talked about on the short float side of things. And there's USO right now, 0.27. Nothing else halting right now, man. JTAI, we said about, what was it, 350 or whatever that level was there. That's now broken down again. Yeah, these halt little prices here where he kept on going back and forth, trying to take down 350. So it looks like that just held. So we have to watch out for that one.
That was the GameStop trade.
Yeah, there was something. What was the news there?
No. So when I say the GameStop, anybody that remember the day that everyone blames Robinhood on that morning on GameStop. And I don't remember how many times it halted, but it was like, it opened up and started flushing. It halted like multiple times. It could have been like 7 or 8 times to the downside. And then there was the first time it put in one green candle and halted up. And then it was just like long everything. Like long GameStop, long AMC, long Cost, long BlackBerry. And it was something like this, except it was halting the entire way down. And the second there was one up, you just took that and it went all the way. That's what you look for. I think when something is cascading, if you're good, that's what Lucid did, right? Like Lucid yesterday was very similar, but obviously JTAI. How are you going to be up? This doesn't make any sense. What's wrong with our percentage thing? Why does this say
673? Isn't that right? That's what I have, 671.
But how can it possibly be up 670% when I'm, what?
Well, where did it close yesterday? I mean, that was the whole thing.
Yeah, but I have it closing yesterday at 450. It's down a bunch. That's wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's big time.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the chart, I'm like, why is this breaking in my head? Or it's just old. Like at one point it must have been up that much and it no longer is. I think I heard we're going to the desk, so let's go to the desk. I didn't catch it.
The IWM is currently up 0.42%. Let's take a look at two tickers I've picked out for you right now. RXT, that's Rackspace Technology, has received the Defense Employer Recognition Scheme Gold Award. However, the stock is not reacting great to this. Pretty poorly, down 3.5%. JTAI now, down 27.3% at the moment. So it's an emerging provider. They've been talking about it on the show right now, but it's an emerging provider of high-performance GPU infrastructure and AI cloud services. But the stock is down after the announcement coming in that it has entered into a non-binding letter of intent, that's the LOI, to effect a reverse takeover transaction with a privately held operating company, valuing the counterparty at approximately $300 million. Now, upon the completion of this deal, the combined company is expected to be valued at approximately $320 million, with JetAI shareholders to receive approximately $20 million of cash and stock consideration.
And we just figured out they split yesterday, so that's why.
I don't know why our
all the way to the upside, and our charts, of course, not showing that, so it's looking like we're up 700%, which it's not. And that's what happens when you split from 3 cents or whatever up to $4, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, the charts go ape on that one. You know, we talked a little bit about SpaceX here today. What about Tesla? Tesla's another name here that's really sort of been just doing nothing as we wait for a potential SpaceX merger or, you know, rumors of that or some sort of a combination of that. And I don't know what we're going to do, but this has been downward sloping now. 200 starting to turn downward. 50 period already is. It's not looking like a huge growth stock right now as Tesla. And maybe it's not anymore, as we already know the story of the cars. We wait for robo-taxi. And then after that, man, like, I don't know. When I was in the Tesla dealership there, I was sort of talking to the guy. They had an Optimus there, just a model, and this is like, the guy has no idea when those are coming through. And I wonder about what that next sort of shoe to drop with Tesla will be. And so, you know, we'll just have to wait for it. I feel like they really screwed up that Cybertruck, man. I mean, if they just would have gone with like a standard release of an SUV of some sort, I think that really would have took off instead of trying to be like something completely different with the Cybertruck. But you know, we heard the other day there was something like 495,000, whatever that delivery number was, that tanked the stock. It was record deliveries for Q2, but there was like 8,000 Cybertrucks. It was like something that didn't even move the needle to the point where I'm not even sure they're making money on. I'm sure they're making money because they have the technology, but
yeah, but not on the Cybertruck.
I don't know if they are or not. Cybertruck still goes for $100,000 bucks.
I don't know if they are. But that being said, you mentioned Optimus. You know who did announce? Who did announce their robot production 1,000 a month? That would be XPeng. They announced, well, it was per the Wall Street Journal this morning. Look, the robots are coming, and like just about everything else, they're coming from China. That's where they're going to be first. So XPeng's out in front of it. It didn't seem to do much to the stock. It's still, it's up 4%, but it's pretty dead. And my segue to an actually pretty good Chinese stock, although not doing what we wanted to see here today, which is hold on to 120 bucks, is Alibaba. It gapped, it's basically spent the rest of the day folding back in. I think you can maybe chalk this one up to like all of the destruction that happened in the chip names and the NASDAQ. Like everything was just falling so hard. It was very difficult for anything that was strong to have held up. So I still think this is a pretty constructive breakout on Alibaba. Maybe this can hold on to as long as it holds on to 115. Another run at 120 has got to be in play. I think you got to give some strong stocks that pull back maybe a bit fiercely, so to speak. Give it a little bit of a hall pass, given what happened in the market and some of the AI trade. But yeah, Bob is actually losing the bid as we speak. Almost 3 o'clock. It's almost time for Power Hour. Still scanning and looking for something that's going to move. Like, again, silver, I'm taking this only to the volume weighted average price. I'm cancel this because I'm not going to get that other fill unless it pops severely. We want to pull it into VWAPs. Once we get that, we'll be looking for something else to go. Lucid continues to go. The SPY continues to head to the downside. USO is doing absolutely nothing. There could be SK Hynix is worth a look. Like this is just breaking.
Right,
it's just breaking.
How's it broke
VWAP.
10? Oh, it must have been down.
Oh yeah, it was
at one
crazy SSR. Tomorrow, might think long tomorrow. It just keeps on like one day, it's like a little bit weak. The next day it ramps. Today it just absolutely flushes. It'll be SSR tomorrow, so maybe it wants another ramp job in tomorrow's trade. I like this. I like stocks that are volatile when they go short sell restricted because you get a bit of a better bounce. But for now, let's see if it bounces and respects VWAP again, or respects the trend, and then that can be a bit of a short. Keep wanting to do this and drag it over so you guys can get a better look. I know everyone, we always get a bunch of feedback to make the show visually better. One of those is, hey, your charts always default to all the way on the right. Center it a little bit. So do my best to do so, but it does default the same way. And I don't feel like changing it because I like it all the way to the right. But if it pops, breaks the trend, I won't think about it. But any pump into VWAP that holds the trend line, gonna look shorts in SKHY. I just paused. We heard some Boeing.
Power hour. Hearing
Power.
something about Boeing, but I don't think it's anything too crazy here. Maybe some potential delays. I don't know. Yeah, downside a little bit for right now. The market's trying to give it up just a little bit right now as well, as we don't worry about these trades, but the Nasdaq has slipped underneath VWAP there, and we have been getting out of our Palantir, which has been good. I mean, we just got that bump up again where we said we're trying to get out of everything. So a break of 133. I don't really like the way this is pairing out here this afternoon. So we will not be taking another reload, but I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. Where is my stop actually right now? 132.80. So will we be able to take a price at 133.10 again? And see if that holds, give ourselves 30 cents to the downside. Do we have 30 cents worth of upside on this trade is kind of the question to ask. Okay, nice move down there, Palantir. I don't know what you guys were doing right there, but nice move downside there for PLTR. We'll give it a little bit of a go here soon, see if it wants to hold that 133 area. Intel down 6, that's still going. I'm not gonna look at that till it gets to 100 again. Palantir, we just looked at it, SpaceX. We just get our 134.50, so sirens up on that. That just happens again 3 minutes ago. Just trying to get it right. We said right into this area. So even when it was up here and I was taking it out at 136, we were, we picked out on 135. We wanted that out. And then we said right into here is another potential out. And then maybe we try to run the short right here through 134 again. And then we see what winds up happening to the downside. So I'm going to put in, right now I'm going to cancel my out because it doesn't look like that's going to matter. That was all the way up to 137.50 or 138. We'll cancel that and we'll put in a 133.99 short and we'll see if that winds up printing. We'll take a couple shares there on a break of 134. Okay, so I want to go short here. We ran the short yesterday off of this level right here. That was really nice. Like that level gives you clear outs. If you go short here at 134, maybe you get out at, maybe 135.50. Okay, so it gives you about 50 cents, about $1.50. I think that's worth it. We'll see if it gets back into these lows again of 132.50. That would be my target on a 134 break anyways. So we'll see if we can get it going just a little bit to the downside right now. Okay, so is he currently speaking right now, President Trump? I don't know.
He was scheduled to speak at 3:15, but I haven't seen that he's actually made any comments. So if he is, I know he was making some comments to reporters earlier. He said that something about Iran being careful, but that was really it. And as I go on the White House website, it says we'll begin shortly. So he's not live right now.
Ooh, okay. So
Watch yourself, Iran.
If he is going to be speaking shortly.
Well, that
little dangerous.
Because then you'd want to be waiting till after he says something.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, but
he's speaking at 9 p.m. Someone just said in the chat. 9 p.m.
That's tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
That's tomorrow, and it's also about the 2020 election. No, you didn't hear me wrong.
Yeah.
The 2020 election, so probably not market related, but that's tomorrow.
Okay, I was just reading it in the chat.
2020, so it's 2026 now.
Always talking about old stuff.
Roger that one. So we'll
kind of like that dude. There's always that one dude in your fantasy league that's always talking about the past.
Yeah. Not many talking about the future in that league. All right, so we'll wait for 134 to break, like I just said. And I did see that. I did see Trump post that there was a national speech he has set for tomorrow. I didn't realize it was an election-based one. I thought it was going to be something about, maybe the plan of action for Iran, but we'll wait till that happens. You brought up a good point today about Broadcom. You had mentioned that although we're down today, it looks like Broadcom potentially trying to hold. Yeah, it's up 1%. And I don't know on the daily chart here. Broadcom's looking pretty good, trying to hold through 4 bills. We'll wait to see a beautiful bounce off of the 200 period moving average. So that's something that definitely, worth sort of holding your hat on there as we worry about Apple trying to make some investments into some chip makers. So it won't be Broadcom, I don't think, but
a little rich.
Someone said in the chat, and I haven't heard anything about it, but it was Cerebras, and I don't know what Cerebras's market cap is, but that does not seem to be the right idea there. Cerebras, I don't think, I don't know if Apple was doing it for memory or not. Like Cerebras, I think is memory. I don't know if they're talking about AI chips, what they're talking about for their investments, what Apple's looking to do. But I don't think Cerebras fits the bill, but I have no idea. So
here's
it's Turnus time, right? We don't know what this guy's involved in.
The markets and prices, the prices are pretty smart. Like to me, if there was a publicly traded company after that rumor that you thought might be the one Apple's interested in, there'd be some indication that somebody liked it, and it wouldn't be like there'd be something that we see that isn't falling. Like if it was really Cerebras, would it be this bad today, or would there have been some more buyers that are, oh, you know what, we think it could be these guys? Nobody is stepping up to the game. Like they're all down, and I bet you look, I'll take this bet. I think if they do make an acquisition, it'll be somebody private. It'll be somebody private and decently small because. Like Apple has supreme confidence that they have always had supreme confidence that they don't need to make the big major acquisitions. That's always been part of their thing. And every now and then, look, I guess they have in the past, but it's just very few. Let's go to Adara at the desk. We're into power hour.
Ooh.
Market's trying to make a bounce, but it's not very, very crazy. Did England score?
No, I don't think so.
Don't post.
No, someone just saying that's who they got. He's got England winning in overtime plus Harry Kane first goal. So
I thought maybe Harry Kane had just scored.
It's very early. I mean, I don't know. There was an early penalty shot in the 22nd minute yesterday. So maybe a penalty shot coming at some point in this game. And I wonder what the odds, you can just ask Google or Gemini or whatever, what the odds are this year for World Cup penalties. I've seen some nice saves as well. I was wondering what the odds are. I know Messi missed twice, I believe, on penalties. I wonder if they get a penalty if Messi will take it.
Did you see the I show speed on the Messi penalty? Sorry, we're going to go to Darren in a second.
No.
So I show speed was right behind. I forget. He was right behind the net.
Oh, I saw that.
And he was doing the whole
and
then Messi missed it.
I saw that.
That guy's funny. I don't know. I think he's funny. But
all right, let's go back over to the desk and see what's going on.
Yeah, I just want to remind you guys, President Trump could be on the podium in 9 minutes, but also we know he's not always on time. It's supposed to be at 3:15. It could be later. Let's talk about Celsius here, CELH. They're in watch here after they shared a post on X, eye emoji, lemon emoji, lightning emoji, a whole bunch of lemons in a basket, and then it says something's coming. So they're trying to tease here, I guess, some kind of new announcement for CELH. As you guys can tell, was a little bit of a bounce, but nothing too crazy here for Celsius with that in mind. Now, I was also looking here for stories on Boeing, and I did just see one come through here. I know Sean was asking about this. Apparently, Airbus has shifted some U.S.-built A350 fuselage part shipments from sea to air to reduce supply chain delays. It's being reported by Reuters, and then Boeing also airlifted certain parts for 767. This is not a massive story, but just to address that, like close the loophole in terms of was Boeing mentioned. That's the story in Boeing. It's minor. Back to you.
Yeah, it explains why it didn't really move that much.
Yeah, when you said like lemon emojis and all this, and then I realized it was Celsius, I was like, Trump is tweeting lemon emojis? Like, is his next little venture into lemonade by any chance? Maybe an investment into lemonade? You know, the sweet insurance company there, LMND. Maybe lemonade.
It is down 7% today.
Ooh, a good spot. Maybe that should be one of my picks there, down 7%. We make some money back on lemonade. All right, it's Sia over there at the desk with, I'm just going to go with happening now.
So you're partially right there. This is a segment during the happening now segment. So SectorWatch, the SPY, currently up 0.26% at the moment. Let's take a look at the sectors and how they're doing towards the end of this trading session. Now, electric tech, you have NVIDIA, super flat at the moment, reversed its gains, reversed its losses as well. Apple up 4.3% on the day. Strong look over here. AVGO up very close to 1.3%. MU, like I mentioned earlier during the Happening Now segment, all these chip names, INTC, MU, SNDK, AMD, all down in the red, continuing to drag down over here. We have SCX also down 7%, followed by Marvel down 7% as well. Tech services, you have Google up close to 3% on the day, Microsoft up 2.7%, and Meta down very close to 2.5% on the day. Oracle is up 3.4% at the moment as well. Palantir, Netflix, PANW continue to remain flat, whereas CRWD and IBM continue to be down in the red, 2% and 1.8% respectively. Finance, you have BRKB, Visa, MasterCard, MSGS, all flat on the day. JPM up 1%, not bad over here. BAC also up very close to 1%. You have WFC up close to 2%, and AXP up 8%, with Citi trading flat, inching close to 0.70 in the green over here. However, retail is up Amazon here up 2.8%. Walmart and Costco, however, are trading flat at the moment, with Home Depot up 8% and TJX up very close to 0.80% over here. Producer manufacturing seems to be lagging here today. We had that bit of a bearishness earlier in the day. It's been continued towards the end of this session. AMAT down 3.5%. You have CAT down 2.9%, very close to 3%, and LRCX down 4.5% on the day, followed by GEV also down 1.2% here. Health Tech, you have Lilly flat at the moment. J&J making a reversal down 2.1%. ABBV, however, trading very close to 1%. MRK up 2.5% over here. In consumer durables, you have Tesla trading flat. Just want to take a look at how Ford is doing, up 1.69% here, F as well. Energy, everything in the red. This is, like I said, you don't want energy to technically be strong here, so it's a good look, I would say. But energy is dragging down today. XOM down 1%, CVX down 0.70%, VLO and PSX. PSX down very close to 3%, and VLO is down 3% at the moment. Consumer non-durables, you have KO down 0.63%, with PG and PM up considerably. PM is up 2.3% at the moment. Utilities, there's a lot of red that I'm seeing around the sector here. NEE down 1%. You have DUK 1.4% lagging, and SO down 1.3%. In industrial services, the same story as well. PWR down 1%. WMB down 2%. But you have communications, non-energy, and distribution, three sectors that are having a bit of a mixed sentiment and a mixed day here today. And finally, to end it, you have health services, UNH lagging 1.5%, ELV dragging down on the day 9.2%, and HCA up 3.7% over here. That's all for your Sector Watch.
Thank you, Sia. Appreciate it. And look, you always want, especially the days the market moves, that's when the sector board is the most important, because it lets you find that relative strength weakness, and where you might find some opportunities to buy, but where also you can see, hey, the money didn't have any problems flowing in when it was going out from other places, and it's an important thing to watch. We got a super chat here, which I'll openly say this. We appreciate all of our viewers, and all the super chats are great, and all the messages, and whether we get them from TikTok or from YouTube, it doesn't really matter. That being said, for obvious reasons, this one's my favorite of all time. Cheese in a chair. It's not just because I'm heavily invested in your cheese dispenser operation. We all have our life savings in it, and we're hoping it goes well.
Of all time.
Hey, we never know. This could be a 100x. We're going to get those cheese dispensers in every major stadium. It's obviously a joke.
Not a bad idea.
Alphabet is like Omar from The Wire. If you know, you know. It's got YouTube tucked under its trench coat if things go south. And even when the whole street is on fire, it still walks down the street like the big boss. If you know, you know. And that's the thing about, see, and Alphabet is like that, because the thing about Omar is Omar didn't have to yell. Omar didn't have to really threaten him. He wasn't like crazy abrasive. He was just chill. He'd walk down the street and just whistle at you or say something in a hushed tone, and you still were scared because it was Omar. And that's the thing about Alphabet. They don't have to be loud. They don't have to be brash, but they are up 3%. Now, some of this, I get it. Alphabet's super strong today, but let's be real. The MAG, there was just a flat out rotation out of chips into the MAG. So they're all pretty good today, for the most part. Like Amazon, they're all good. Apple had a good day today. And so there was that, but this is now a potential 50 period to break away into the highs. So that's what you were trying to sustain today. So Alphabet, they got tons of mode. There's tons of businesses where it's like they don't even get credit for major segments of the business because everyone only looks at one part. Like with Alphabet, it's like, yeah, no one's really paying attention to YouTube enough. I would 100% agree with that. I don't think people sometimes respect the defense aspect for Boeing enough, but that's just my 2 cents. I think that stock should be flying a lot higher than it is, and I think that's one of the things for growth in the future that I don't think it gets enough credit for. But this is one that's like languishing. But yeah, great pick on Alphabet. I haven't decided my other two. I know the first three, but the other two, just trying to narrow down the list. Alphabet may or may not be one of them. I'm not decided yet. I do want to have something tech, but I feel like that's not it. There's one that's a shot play, which is growing.
I think Joe will
in
take
my
Alphabet.
mind.
I mean, Joe just took the exact same 3 names, apparently, is what I heard, is what I
Oh, you've seen the other
told.
picks?
No, I asked.
You asked him, okay.
He took, because he already announced them. He took CrowdStrike, the same pick he always had, and Walmart, and JP Morgan. So he just rolled the same 3 picks. So,
well, since we already know them, what did Sharif pick? I wasn't.
I don't know about Sharif.
I was out for my walk, I think. So.
I don't think Sharif picked yet, but you guys let me know if he did. I'm not sure what he did yet. So just hearing in our ear now again, Strait of Hormuz, threatening this and that. Oil right now not doing a whole heck of a lot. So we'll keep on trying to give an idea here. U.S. Central Command apparently there. 3 p.m. U.S. forces launched operations. Okay, so they just started going again here at Iran. So it looks like right now USO. And this is what I mean, like, see that spike there? So there's the story coming out, but it's not like a lot of volume, but nothing really going on right now in USO. So I think you got to wait. Like, imagine we heard, like, if I could sort of replay, the history of this whole event, and you would have said, okay, we're striking, this is another wave, and blah, blah, blah. If you kind of like say, okay, go back 8 months and we could maybe get headlines like this, you would think that oil would actually move on something like that. And right now, it's not doing anything. So we are getting very, very close. I'm getting more, just got another one there on Palantir. So it's 40 cents. It is what it is. We're just going to wait for that. We're still $4 in the money right here, but I'm looking at a break right here. So we just got out again at 134. So I decided to get more out, because again, like, I hope that I'm able to get filled on a break. I'm only crossing 15 cents. The spread right now, because it's not like a first level break. There's nothing. I should be able to get that fill. I do understand that you weren't getting that fill if you only crossed that much here. That was the first time we ever broke 135, and it went down $3 from there. So I'm not necessarily looking for an absolutely monster move like that. We'll just see if we can break through 134. Then I do think that we end the day between this 133 to 133.50 area on SpaceX. And now, whether or not we use VWAP there would be $1.50, because this is more like a trend trade sort of thing here, where the trend is down, we're breaking lower. We're kind of in the middle of where support is and maybe resistance and support. So I just want to try to hit it and quit it. So we may just use this 50-period moving average right here as our out. So that would be about 75 cents or so, knowing full well that this name could break and then rip 75 cents. So we'll wait for like a break and then a fake, and then maybe we can average into it depending on how that winds up happening. But that's going to be here it comes. So that's going to be the idea for SpaceX. So when we do get back from Madeira, we could have more shares of SpaceX, could not, but that's what we're talking about right here. SpaceX trying to break through 134.10, and we will figure that out, hopefully on the way back from Madeira.
Just be aware here, guys. I'm seeing a whole collection of comments coming from President Trump ahead of his appearance at this Pennsylvania defense event. So I'm guessing he's speaking to reporters as he gets out of whatever vehicle he used to travel to Pennsylvania. And some of these comments are interesting. All of them are related to what we talk about here, which is why I'm going to go over them. So he said he believes that inflation at the year end will be lower than it is now. Now, this is interesting because it's almost the exact wording that Fed Williams used, the Fed president of the Bank of New York, used earlier today. I'm sure it's coincidental, but I thought the wording was interesting. President Trump also saying he believes the price of oil will, quote, yo-yo for a while. He said that he'd like to see interest rates go down, but he thinks it's better for the Fed to pause rates rather than to raise them, and said, quote, I wish I could use tariffs faster. So I think we're going to be in for a pretty exciting 3:15 p.m. event for Trump. Now it's actually 3:18, so he's a little bit late, but keep an eye out for potentially some more market-moving comments. Back to you.
Thank you, Adair. We will look out for those comments. I'm also going to look out for... That's right. I sneezed, so I had to mute myself there, but apologies. I'm going to look for some movement here in DRAM. I just saw SK Hynix start to break down, and you are resuming. I know you had a big long uptrend, and obviously it already broke, but you don't have to have that if you're going to consolidate and then head lower. So I want to short the consolidation. The even dollars was good to go. We had to pay for locates on DRAM. It's not free, but they were very, very cheap. So once again, shout out to Real Trading. We always get questions about like locates when people say they can or can't short things. The best way to think about Real Trading, we have locates or available borrows on 99-point-something% of all issues on North American markets. And the reality is, even if you have to pay, usually it's something along the lines of, like DRAM here is 0.00026 cents per share. 0.00026 cents per share. So that's what you get charged for it. So we have a great tier 1 broker, and it's fantastic for us. Allows us stability. So I'm going to take it short. I'm going to give it to this little, not the prior bar, but like the prior top in here. So it's about 40 pennies on DRAM. And if you're looking at what's under the hood for DRAM, I mean, I probably not saying anything you don't know. Like you're already breaking down on Micron through 900. If you look at SNDK individually, this isn't a consolidation break. They're a little choppy, but why pick when I can just get into DRAM? If I think we're headed lower, going to get some out at the 1-to-1 on this wick and then just see how far we can get down. Look for some reloads along the way because the market doesn't seem to want to hold up that well in the afternoons lately. When was the last time, you guys tell me because I don't remember. When was the last time we were at the highs in the afternoon and then still making fresh highs after 3 o'clock? Like like even the days that we're up, like we're not making fresh highs 320, 330, 340. Like it's that we don't have days like that. I don't feel like too much. I know I could just look at the chart myself, but I was looking at something else and I figured I'd ask you guys. I guess, yeah, like does this day really count? Because the pop happens in the aftermarket. Like you get up there, you pull back, you get back to the highs that doesn't count. You know, we're moving down there, we're moving down there, we're moving down in the afternoon. Like how far am I going out to where you have an afternoon where you're not giving it up? I'm not even seeing it. I'm not going to bother going any further back. I already have it at a 60-minute chart. Put it back to my 15. Suffice to say the market's been weak in afternoons.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and that's why I'm trying to go short here on SpaceX and trying to hold on to that one. Maybe look at SK Hynix. Look, like in a era of data and infrastructure and all of these build outs and everything that's been happening in this world, we always look at the SanDisks, the Microns, and all of that, right? And that's why you look at that DRAM, and then now we get SK Hynix coming through. But all of these stocks need one thing, and they need help with the build out, Neil. So I am going with one of my picks will be Caterpillar. So we'll hit the sirens up for Caterpillar. That will be one of the plays of mine moving into the second half of the year. They have an extreme backlog, heading into the back end of 2026, even into the front end of 27. Caterpillar can't produce these turbines fast enough. They already have autonomous machines, robots working for them. I mean, imagine you could be, this big, first of all, the world's in for a rebuild. We already know that. A lot of money being spent on various things, including infrastructure plays, not just for the data centers, but the building out of everything, right? The building out of, metropolis, highways, just pure expansion. Caterpillar, and then the energy side of things with the turbines, they can't keep those in stock. I like Caterpillar, perennial dividend increase. We're not even counting dividends and all this. They'll give you 2% anyways. So I just think Caterpillar right here. And not only that, this time I'm going to be, a little smarter with it. As Joe sits back down right here, I'm going to make, looking at where we are, right? I'm not going to make a call. And look, if I like the stock and it's at highs, like you said, AbbVie had pulled back a little bit, still near highs. Caterpillar's still near highs. I don't think this is necessarily a stock that we have to write off. Could it come back into 850? Sure. But if we're going to make some plays, we're already a little bit late here on the year, but I'm going to put in to the portfolio right now, Caterpillar. Again, a name that I own, but at these levels, I think it's worth buying. It's going to be Caterpillar is going to be one of my plays moving forward. And you guys wanted 2 for 1. Let me give you 2 right now. The next play is one that I just most recently bought in my own portfolio. I like the stock. You may be able to guess it. This is more on a computer sort of relay play moving forward here, thinking that we do have some exposure into that game. I mean, I was going to think about picking up some Intel, maybe even some Corning, but instead we're going to go with yet again another dividend payer, and it's going to be the boy that you all know as Qualcomm enters the building as my second pick. So I'm going to go with Caterpillar to start with today and Qualcomm. Qualcomm actually pretty flat on the day right here, but again, another pick that has come right into the 200 period moving average. I've most recently bought it in and around these levels. So I'm going to support Qualcomm as one of my plays moving forward here into 2026. So we've got Caterpillar on a little bit of a build out. Qualcomm has a custody there, and we'll see what winds up going higher. The reason Qualcomm, Snapdragon, autonomous vehicles, right? Qualcomm, I mean, they're predicting here a backlog of their Snapdragon units just for the cars alone, getting involved into the autonomous side of that. So as we talk about robo-taxis and, the stuff that's going on with Lucid and all that, Qualcomm trying to find their way, a big shift. We used to think of Qualcomm as a company that was in the handset business. But right now, we like Qualcomm moving forward as they get back into that AI space. So I'm going to go with kind of one chalk play a little bit with Caterpillar, and then one that I think is a risk with Qualcomm. So we got those 2 plays. We got a few more to come into on Friday. So we'll give you some plays today, and then on Friday we'll wrap it up with maybe 3 more. I mean,
I love Caterpillar.
Oh, yeah.
I love Caterpillar.
I had to say that before you did. So we got Caterpillar.
I haven't decided 2 of mine, and whatever.
I have a bunch written down here.
I love
I have
Caterpillar,
one more I could
but
prop right now.
I'm not gonna make
potentially.
it. I have to say, I'm making one of my picks is gonna be a little bit boring because it was a more exciting one that I wanted to do. But because I wasn't prepared to buy it right now, I'm not going to. You're gonna not have. Nobody's heard of them. You probably don't know AAUC, but. Like last year, I didn't include something that I swing bought myself. It was fantastic, and I'm like, this time, if I'm doing something in a deal, then I want to say that I'm doing it. But because I'm not pulling the trigger on this, I have to figure out why it made a fresh low. They just got they need Chinese approval for this deal to go through at $44, and it's fallen like a rock. They're a gold company, but when. Technically speaking, I like the 29 level on it, and it's already trading down. So even if the deal falls through, it's got a little bit of a support level to come through, and then you get the potential if the deal happens by the end of the year, you're just getting $44. But because I'm not willing to buy it, I don't want to do it yet. What I'm going to go with instead is one that I want to pick up because I think if the deal closes this year, you're going to get your 31. You're getting better than a 10% yield, and there's downside protection on WBD every day once September 30th hits. If the deal isn't closed, every single month you effectively are getting 25 cents. So you're getting 1% every single month that it doesn't close, and if it closes, you're getting the top. So to me, that softens the blow for the fear that this deal isn't going through. And all the hoopla about the state suing, understand that 100%, no matter what anybody says, this is not to be political, this is just the truth. No matter what anybody says, this is a partisan thing as to why they don't want this deal to happen. If it had been Netflix, the Republicans would be doing the same thing. Because it's Paramount Skydance, it just has to do with the whole, quotes, slant of news, and we don't want the other side having another news. That's honestly, that is the nuts and bolts of what's going on behind it. So there is downside protection. You get that 25-cent payment every single month. If it doesn't close, if it does close, which it's still projected that they could by the end of the year. I think that gives it a nice little floor underneath it as well. So that's going to be one of them. I'm going to save the other ones. I don't want to give up more. I'll give another one tomorrow, and then because tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'll give the final 2 on actually Friday because I feel like there has to be some anticipation.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay, I'll give another one. I have a couple more. I'll give another one tomorrow, and we'll let Joe's done 3. So
yeah, I don't want to do them
5
all,
or not, it's going to be his choice. And then we also have Sia's ready to go with 5. Adair's going to give 5. Okay, Dara's not good. Maybe
I
not.
don't want to do anything I don't feel confident about. Truthfully, I would do one pick if I could, because I
You
really
can.
just have the one. Well, I know I can, but I just have one that I feel very strongly about, as you guys
Then do
know.
that.
And unless and until something really, like, takes that level of interest in my mind, I don't know. I added another short pick. 2 of my picks are the same. I flopped out one
short.
of my
I never
longs.
think
I
about
switched it for
shorts.
another short. And I don't know if I want to do 2 other picks, truthfully, because unless I feel really compelled, I might do 4. Like, that's my whole thing. In terms of all my contributions, it's, am I compelled? If I'm not compelled, I'm not compelled. And right now, I'm barely even compelled to even have the 5 that I have, or 3 that I have.
I think.
Go
even,
see ya.
I think even for me, I think I would say that I picked 3 and then I picked 4 that was TATA, like TATA on the Nifty. I'm gonna keep that and make it 4. I don't know about the 5th yet, and I don't want to pick just for the sake of picking, but we have a deadline, so I'm gonna work with that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, this is obviously a trading show. We cover stocks every single day. So if there was a name that you guys thought, had a chance to go up over the next 6 months, you take it, go down, you take it. This is not like, we're not putting our firstborn on this or anything like that. This is just, we're just trying to think about
well, maybe we should put a little cash on it so it's taken in some more seriously.
Well, no,
Stop trying to make everybody place bets, Joe. I don't know why this is everything with Joe as a money bet.
I'm
Never
right here,
mind
Joe,
last year with that whole, will Bitcoin reach this level before Sharif's birthday? He's like, if you don't believe, then you should bet against me. I'm like, I'm not betting on a bet. I've seen The Big Short. I know what happened in the housing crisis. I just want to address so that we all know how often Joe is always trying to get people to place bets, because I don't know. I just want to put it out there.
Look, I'll say this plainly. Like, every single play that we've ever said, I have taken it. I've let you know where it is that I bought it. And the one that I got out of, I told you when I got out of it, and I told you when it stopped working. And that I literally didn't pick one over the other because I wasn't prepared to buy that Toronto one. I can't put my money into it, so I'm not going to make the pick. But I am taking a bit of a shot in WBD. I'm hearing somebody in my ear.
It's Fabian. Look, Joe, if you want to come after the king, I've been gold both times in a row. I'm here for you. We can get that rocking and rolling. You just tell me what you want to do with that one. We had 164% the first time, and I think 180% the second time. So we'll see what winds up happening.
Put your own money on the line, and you don't have to worry about it.
Big Bear AI as well, and I still get 180%. So
I have an idea. There's a portfolio average in there, and if we just take that and we donate it at the end of the year once we reach the total, how about that?
We could do anything. Joe wants to put money on the line.
I have lots of
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But we can
How does
that work?
involved this
How does that
time
work?
around? Do you have some more
I'm-
picks?
How's that work?
I'm involved every time.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying this time around, you got some more picks?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
How would you want to work that, though?
What do you mean? So there's a portfolio average. So whatever the
Yeah,
sum
this
up
is
of
Joe's
everybody
kid
together.
over here, by the way. People asking about who you are over here.
Anyways, we can discuss. Yeah, we can discuss.
Fabian took all our hair, as you can see over there. So Fabian had some great picks. Actually,
Whatever
Fabian
happened
had
to
silver
donating the hair?
before it kind of ripped up there, and obviously it comes back in. Yeah. So Fabian had a great pick with silver last year. That was a really good one, and I think Sharif got caught with some Bitcoin, and anyways, that was a little bit of a disaster. He had also a Broadcom, which I don't know year to date. It's kind of crazy that we make our picks in January. The market just rips up and is at all-time highs, and I think our portfolio average maybe even is red there. So don't take what we say to be factual or anything like that, but make your own decisions. We're having some fun around here, but I think the idea is to try to give some ideas about what we're thinking about, and that's it, right? Whether or not it makes money or not, up to you guys to take those picks. Like some people said, Caterpillar's too pricey at these levels. Yeah, look, it's a 38 PE. I don't know if it's good or not for Caterpillar historically. I didn't look it up. I don't have the conviction that maybe I should have with that one. But my Qualcomm play, I really like that one.
Pricey,
that's a 17 PE on Qualcomm, and I just really think that story is very, very undercover right now. So I'm excited about Qualcomm and willing to look at that again here as we keep on going. So I don't know, is Qualcomm catching? I mean,
By the way, go ahead. Trump is live, but he's at this defense.
Yeah, don't worry about Trump. I mean, we got other things over here. When did I announce Qualcomm? I'm just playing around. Could you imagine that if we announce a pick and then all of a sudden it just rips like that? I would just announce whatever I'm in here and not trying to talk about it. But that's funny. Someone in the
what's
chat just
happening
goes,
here?
Wow, Qualcomm went to the upside. Yeah, market coming back down.
USO just like I don't know. I don't know what his first
Trump
comments
has
were.
The mic now, right?
I don't know what his first comments were, but this is what happened. The first
He's
move
still
is
listening to that "Proud to be an American, God Bless the USA" song, so he hasn't made comments yet.
So the best. I mean, I love how Donald Trump has walkout music. Like, that's the best. Like, this is like wrestling. Like, when I watched this guy come out, UFC, he came right out the White House with Dana White there for the UFC. He had like a 5-minute walk. Like, I really felt like it was very, very dramatic there. Shout out to 47 there. This guy.
You know what Aaron did to me yesterday?
This?
No, she got me with the "it doesn't matter."
Oh, good.
We're at the
nice.
dinner table. I don't remember what I was asking
Well, because
about.
it doesn't matter whatever it was.
But
No,
it doesn't, and she slapped me with the "it doesn't matter." I'm just like,
exactly.
My wife did one of these, and I just had the biggest smile on my face. I was like, "Sweetheart, you got me." Legit, because she never gets me with that stuff, ever. Like, she'll ask a question, I'll be like, "Nice try. That was too random. It doesn't make any sense." She slapped me with it. I'm gonna. By the way, just because if that was the president spiking, I'm gonna take the VWAP in here because if we see this for USO and there's nothing other than the president walked out to music and that's the reason USO went up. Leans toward expanding U.S. military operations in Iran. Yeah, let him do it. I'll take the
This
dub.
guy, Fat Joe, lean back.
Defense stocks go up in the long term. May or may not have one. May or may not have one on the radar. That's more of a staple.
Karg Island being talked about right now. On that note, man, we did have a. Yo, what's up, PUBG? Now that I know this is PUBG, we can have to find out if I find out exactly what that is. But yeah, there it goes, man. Isn't that hilarious that when this was down here again, I questioned myself about taking Palantir. Meanwhile, it just ho-hummed itself up $1 right there. Like, we were like, nah, do we really want to take this? And I remember what our stop was, 130 to 80 to the downside. So we could have had about 30 or 40 cents worth of a risk. And Black Owl to the upside, we go 90 cents upside off 133 there. So there it goes. But all right, it's 3:34. We are getting ready for some of those imbalances. I think we're going to go back over to the desk. This is what they look like so far. I have no idea what ARI is. That's on here as well. WFC with an early sell look. So if you're in the bank names, you may want to have just a quick look at those as sell look for WFC, although it's taking out highs right now. So that's kind of odd there. Ford, don't tell Randy right now, but Ford, nice move to the high side for Ford lately, just off that 13 up to 14. I was lucky enough to get some out of Ford right there at $17. Imagine I made one of my picks Ford. That would be hilarious. It's Money Talks. Hold on a second. Money, we probably have a bumper for this, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it's Money Talks with Sia at the desk.
Let's start by looking at the USD JPY pair. You have the JPY looking a little bit strong here, trading around the 162.1 region right now. It had touched the low of the day at 161.8. Seems like it's making a reversal. The chart looking not so bad right now. So we had hovered weak, like I said, near 162.12, and now touching around, I would say 162.16 is looking pretty good here. Not too bad. Let's also take a look at the dollar and send it over to Adara. Dollar around 100.5 right now. Early in the day, I would say it's down to 0.42% still. It's still weak against all of its major peers, but let's pause and take a look at what Adara has to say.
Let's take a look here at USO. We have a spike here in oil heading into, we're about halfway through now, power hour, as the Wall Street Journal shares a report suggesting that U.S. President Donald Trump has discussed seizing Karg Island during a meeting that took place yesterday as part of a plan to further expand U.S. military operations in Iran. At the same time, Iran's repeatedly reporting that we're hearing some sirens in certain areas of the country, and even reporting that U.S. projectiles hit a location near Bandar Abbas. Back to you.
Does Netflix report before No, they're after hours.
Aftermarket.
4:05 p.m. is the expected time of release tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, I was going to say, because that was the next sort of big shoe to drop there for the tech space, and we'll have to wait to see. I mean, I like, again, Warner Brothers, a lot of good reasons for that one.
Dropping the keyword.
To be a pick there as well. And then, Netflix waiting to hear about what that one has to deal with now coming into tomorrow. So we'll see what that sort of plan of action is moving forward. you know, what do they think about some of that live TV deal that they have? You know, is it going to be in the numbers, upgrades, downgrades, so on and so forth? Tomorrow, catch it. Netflix, we'll be talking about that, I'm sure, on Friday after that report comes down tomorrow. So, you know, if you're looking for some options plays, you know, Netflix might be something to consider because that 70 is a really interesting one. I don't know what it looks like on the chain, but like we've been holding, it's actually not 70. It's actually 71 right there. So it's like literally 71 flat right there is like the low of the year, I guess, on Netflix. So, you know, watch out for that one coming through there. It did have, you know, multiple dips into 70s during the whole kerfuffle. And then once they lost Warner Brothers there, it shot right back up. They got, what was it, $2.8 billion cash payment for the breakup of that offer. And then, you know, so that hit the book. So that was really nice. And then all of a sudden it was just like, wait a second, we still don't know what we're doing about content, and came all the way back in. And now we wait to hear, you know, the biddings, just start your bidding at $1 trillion or a couple $100 billion. I have no idea what the World Cup's going to cost and for how long that looks like, you know, like whether or not you get a 4 tournament deal or a 1 tournament or whatever it turns out to be. I think that you know, we see what football and, you know, has meant this year to, you know, TSN and all the ratings. And I just think that it's going to be a good win for whoever.
They had nothing. They had games that you would have thought were nothing, which were drawing U.S. viewership. It was an NFL playoff game.
Yes,
it was like gambling. NFL playoffs to like regular, which I don't think anybody saw that coming for numbers in the U.S. Monthly chart, Netflix, this month got a hold. This is about this is the most significant level on the way back that's seen, and it's gonna be this. It's this $68 to $70. It's the 50 period on the monthly. It's the 2021 top. This is where the V-shape, like this V-shaped recovery broke out and went parabolic at the $70 level. So that's it. This is the Alamo effect. We haven't used the Alamo term in a while. It's the Alamo for Netflix at 70. If you don't bounce here, this gets very precarious for Netflix. And I still believe in them, but it gets pretty dicey. You have to have a little bit more belief.
Must believe.
Right, we're not really getting a crazy. I thought there'd be a reversion here after getting out because there's USO pulling back. So that was kind of where my brain was at, that we'd make a high and pull back in USO, and then the things that were falling would bounce up, and then we'd reload them. But it's 340, and if we don't bounce up pretty soon, then we're not, I shouldn't say at all, probably the wrong word, then maybe we don't at all. The early looks of interest, WFC, bank that reported this week, and CCL, both 1.5 million to the sell side, which are decent enough to at least be on the radar. CCL is down, so I usually prefer if it was up with a sell imbalance. Wells Fargo, which gives it, the reversal play is going to be in there, but Wells Fargo was to the upside, so that could be a little bit more interesting with that sell imbalance. 10 minutes until we get those imbalances, I'm going to have my eyes on a potential reversion, at least for the next 5 minutes. If there's one last pop to be able to get silver, I think silver is short again tomorrow. Oh, and someone had asked about natural gas tomorrow. I'm going to again put a stop order to try to take any consolidation break on the nat gas number at 1030, but I'm still going to go the same way where I pick a direction and then just take the stop that way. That way, if I guess right, great, it works, but I want to favor a direction just so I'm not triggering regardless of which way it goes. But I am thinking downside, I just haven't decided yet. But that nat gas move at 1030, there's been a trend move post there every single week for the last, I think 7 out of the last 8 weeks. So tomorrow I'll be looking for that, Thursday at 1030. That's basically the best time it moves. And for anybody that it's like, yeah, well, what do you think overall of nat gas? They call it the Widowmaker for a reason. It's only been going one way. That's down. It goes down. It splits. It goes down. It splits. That's what Boyle does. Trying to find longs in that stock for any kind of a trend. That's for the Michael Nosses of the world. I'm never going long that thing.
You know, in order to be, you got to watch out for those ETFs. They change your portfolio real quick. You know, in just what we've been talking about and, you know, holding on to positions and trading and, you know, sitting here and trying to make a living doing this, you know, there it is, man. It's $1 now in the money on Palantir. It takes out VWAP. It just goes to the upside. I mean, I'm just trying to, and I've been talking with Taylor there in the chat. I'm just trying to, like, give trades that I'm willing to take and show you guys ins and show you guys outs and doing the best job that I can. And, right into there, I told you we have a very, very small piece left of SpaceX. It did exactly the play that we had talked about. I mean, even when it was up here, we said if it comes back, we want to get out. We want to get out VWAP. We want to get out 135. We want to get out this 134.50 area right there. We want to get out at 134 before it breaks. And if it does break, we have a 134 breaker to come through now. But that's not happening. So right here on SpaceX, trying to moon a little bit here into the close, I'm just going to punch out. And that's that, man. That wraps it up right there. SpaceX is your number one show-wide P&L name there today is SpaceX. So, I mean, you take it, it goes to the downside. We had a $6 winner right there on SpaceX at the lows. And again, like just boom, 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 boom. Most of my trading here, and I'm preventing myself from making money. So it's just myself doing this. But, getting out early, a lot of shares there, and just making sure that we're somewhat conservative. And whenever you see me in position and I'm holding something like this Intel trade that was $7 or $8 in the money there, it's just a small piece, right? But, when we see key levels, that's where we try to empty them out. And whenever you're seeing me in the afternoon, it's generally going to be a little smaller pieces. So join us in the morning. You'll see some, much bigger trades. And even this Intel one there straight off the jump at 9:30, we gave it a little bit of time, right? That's 9:33. Got to do better on that. Once that broke through, it came right into our 107, 108 area. I like that stock. We talked about, I almost made this a pick of mine moving forward for the next 6 months, but it just dropped through. And as soon as we lost that 107, all of these purple hearts over there, they go down to the downside. Of course, they're purple triangles, but those are all the way to the downside right there. So that's the short that's sort of banked out there on Intel. But yeah, look, I really been happy with SpaceX. This name was a little bit of a disaster today just because, again, I thought we were pretty patient with it. And you're always going to look back and say, maybe I shouldn't have made that trade or I should have. But we wrote down SK Hynix. We saw it bounce off 180 right there. And I was like, you know what? I like the stock. I like the idea behind the memory trade. I like the fact that it's been holding up strong and it's in its third or fourth day since IPO or since the listing. And it just, collapsed on me right there. This was a nothing. Take away that, it was right into here. We bought it at 180. We got a small piece out at 182. Then we bought it again at 180, and then it dropped out through 179. So that was a bad one. That's going to be my biggest loser there today, and there's not much, really I can do about that. It fell through, and just glad we got out, if anything. And again, ifs and buts, right? But this is a good area to thought about getting long down there at 167 or so, but wasn't here for that. And now just like that one, I was sitting here for this. Didn't know if we really wanted to short 180, but that was a good short for SK Hynix when it came all the way back there. So even though we didn't make it on it today, this is what trading is. And we always talk about it. You just want to make sure that whatever you lose today, you try not to lose more, or whatever you make today, like it doesn't work on this math. You try not to lose too much more than that tomorrow, and have your goals in mind. And when you get hit, you take hits.
It's weird. I didn't trade.
Even Lucid. Look at this trade.
I was so sure I was going to trade SK Hynix today.
Yeah,
I just never did. This is the first day that I didn't.
I let
trade
it go since 10:15. Like, why have we had no more trades on that? But
again, it's been a good stock this month and lots of opportunities. For some reason, just didn't like it today. It could have been. I don't know. If you liked it long, I don't know where you would have bought it. By the way, 4 minutes. We had a super chat. Didn't we have a super chat about Lucid? Oh, sorry. We're going up to Sia. We've Imbalances coming. We'll get to the super chat. I saw you.
Okay.
We'll make this quick because the imbalances are coming soon. So let's take a look at what's going on with the crypto markets right now. We had earlier in the day Senator Bernie Moreno of Ohio saying in an interview that several senators will be meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House on Thursday afternoon to discuss particularly progress on a sweeping cryptocurrency regulatory bill. We do know it's been going on for a long time. So let's see how that pans out. With that, we have BTC down on the day 0.12%, trading around the 64,800 region, dropping a little bit over here. Right now, we have Ethereum up on the day 1.8%, trading around the $1,925 mark. And Solana finally down 0.8% on the day, trading around the $77 region, falling a little bit over here.
Thank you, C. And why not? There he goes. JP Rodriguez. Thoughts on where Lucid might close? If we're guessing, I took my 2 shots at Lucid. I said I would take 2 shots at it, 1 and 2. Here's my red stock, but you can't lose your day on it. You just got to try to find a spot where you like it and make sure you get out. I always like to have if I'm on the 15-minute chart, if I take a trade, it doesn't work, I want my little triangles, they should be connected to each other on a 15-minute chart. I don't want them spaced out. Why not $6? I'm just saying $6 because it's an even dollar and that's the top. But in 2 or 3 minutes, maybe it has an imbalance. That could be worth looking at for sure. When we looked at this locator, there is this random, see this one, ARI 2.7 million shares to sell. So there's a reason for this one. It is being deleted from the Russell 2000. Because Apollo Commercial Real Estate Finance has elected to voluntarily liquidate their assets. It's a planned liquidation, pending a sale. Anyway, so it's supposed to be 14 million shares, and I'm seeing 2.7. So if that grows significantly, it might be a trade there. But if you're expecting 14 and it's only 2.7, it could be a nothing burger. Still, really just WFC and CCL, both 1.4 million to sell. Oh, FXI. FXI is now 1.5 million to the sell side. That could be worth a look. This chart is basically just Alibaba. Followed the gap up with Alibaba, followed the move down with Alibaba for most of the day. So we got about 90 seconds until we get those, until we get the imbalances. Obviously, I'm no longer interested in any pops in SLV. Probably could have just held it. This is a short again tomorrow. Silver is just trending down. This is a flat bottom break potential on. I don't have my key.
Ooh, silver. Okay. I don't mind getting in.
There's been nothing about it that wants to hold. But that break, that was another reason why I like the, I was looking at that, there was a Canadian gold buyout that I think is undervalued, is because the deal falls through. Well, I'm just getting a gold miner on a pullback. And that was one of the, but I can't make it my pick, even though I think there's really great upside in it, because I'm not willing to buy it today.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that's what we're talking about, right, is we're having some fun here. With some of those picks, we'll have them all for you. And Fabian's building a
widget,
quite a nice widget.
Website.
Yes, good one there. Website widget building there as we. I actually used a new Siri for the first time.
No one says
widget.
widget
my
anymore.
wife, and it worked. So shout out to Siri. Thank you for calling Marisa for me earlier today. All right, so 30 seconds away. Don't have to show this right now. I'm getting out, so we just, I didn't have to cancel all my, I'm just gonna offer out right now 65s. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. I'm Palantir, I'll join that line right now. Just got some more out right there at 133.90. Just trying to empty before these imbalances come through, which are out right now. So being careful with all of this here into the close. So here we go, 5 seconds out. Oh, I didn't get that fill, darn it. So hopefully this rips up into 65 and we'll be able to get it. Here it is, there it is, so it goes upside. So there we go, we get the out, we're out now out there. Wow, big buy for
NVIDIA.
You know, we like big buys, and I cannot lie. Breaking through right there, 4 million on NVIDIA coming through there. FXI, not much else changed that we've seen. There's Apple with a bid. I mean, let's get to all-time highs right now. With Apple, we like that one going through there. Cisco, man, a name brought to us yesterday by Brian Shannon. So that could be something to look at here. Cisco, he liked, oops, sorry, Brian, that's down 5%. Maybe he meant short, I don't know. I have to rewind the tape there. But yeah, Cisco down, that's a buy side today. Wait a minute, why is Cisco even down right now? That's, I guess maybe the whole sector. But look at this. This is a possible breakdown here as well. I'm gonna have to rewind and hear what Brian said, because this doesn't seem like a stock that he's recommending. But there it is, nice move downside there for Cisco right now, looking like this could be an interesting one to, if we were gonna have a short in the show on those picks, maybe a drug.
I want to say that was one of his older picks. I don't know that he recommended it yet. He mentioned it. I don't think he recommended it yesterday.
Right, so I don't want to put words in his mouth. To him.
I know he had that one months ago as when it was on the way up. But I think you're right about that. Like, I was hitting the flat bottom break for silver. I mean,
I only called up Cisco because it was on the imbalance.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing. If that's a big time gap underneath. You saw NVIDIA to the upside. By the way, that ARI, it didn't come out as big as it would have expected. It probably was a trade anyway, so it didn't really grow, but you would have had a decent scalp trade. Sometimes they actually trend down. Should pull this up earlier. Sometimes when it's expected to be a sell, you'll actually get the move a lot earlier, and you can take that trade early in the afternoon. But it cuts both ways. I've seen people get burned doing that too. A Tesla day would be a good example of that. Some traders, the day Tesla got added to the S&P 500, it was probably the single greatest imbalance trade I have ever seen in my life, and there were traders that were shut down because they tried going long earlier in the day, just thinking it has to go up into the close. And they were just long too early, and it just kept tanking and tanking. And then when the bounce came, it was absolutely historic. But you had to be ready for it. NVIDIA is going to close, hopefully, into the green. That buy imbalance in 3 minutes could pair off. So there could be something there in less than 3 minutes, because that'll be 355. So I'd look for that as a potential like reversal play in front of 55. Still like it and want it to go hold green. But just for the imbalance aspect, not really anything to do on this ARI. I'll just look for the turn potentially on NVIDIA. Want to see that flip.
Yeah, I just got out of Intel there, right here at 303. 303. Wait a minute, maybe I should make this my pick. 103 right there on Intel, just taking out VWAP there.
I'm selling it all if it goes
just
there.
Not doing anything, man. I mean, it's just it's hovering around there for Intel. All right, Boeing, Qual. We could check. I just saw Qualcomm on the note here. It's not doing anything. It must be in a VWAP or something there. So Qualcomm just hanging out right now, not doing anything. It's kind of stupid to look at scanners right now. I mean, volumes are sort of fluctuating back and forth. But if we want to have a quick look at how the day wound up, I mean, these are stocks that I try to watch out for every single day. We could sort them. Oh, you know what? A name that we didn't look at really, other than the open, at least I did it. Maybe they did on the midday show. I should be careful what I say. But PayPal today didn't do a whole heck of a lot. It was an early dump, and we sort of mentioned that there off the open, that watch out for a dump. And I was like, if you want to sell it, maybe sell it before it hits that level. But it came back anyways, $55, $56 for PayPal there on the Stripe buyout rumors. So we can definitely watch out for that one. Stripe, it's a consortium. It's Stripe and Advent or something like that.
Yeah, I think they're going 50-50 on
Yeah, so, and I like that move. I talked about that already with Stripe possibly coming public. Would be nice to have PayPal underneath them, and then they can get some sort of a value to that business, and it might help them on some sort of a IPO date.
I have a question for the chat.
Yeah.
Is there any
Roblox.
Destiny, the DXYZ has 2% exposure to Stripe. Is there any, what fund has better, what's a better way to get exposure to Stripe than 2% in Destiny? There's got to be something. I can ask ChatGPT, but I'm saying it out loud now, so I don't have to. Maybe someone types it and saves me from putting it into Gemini or something along those lines. Because I find it interesting too. If there's something that has like 10, 15% Stripe and a few other good holdings, that could be a nice little way to play what you think could be a benefit. But DXYZ, 2% is way too small. It's basically pointless, because then you're not making it for that play. You're making it for the other stuff that they hold.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking about there with Stripe earlier on as well. But yeah, that's pretty funny. I know Zion Lala there. I don't know where I come up with these things. I like a big buy, and I cannot lie. Yeah. That was a pretty funny one there. And we can. I mean, if you're long in NVIDIA, man, it's hard to disagree. And with that movement, we got a big buy imbalance for NVIDIA. That's where that came from. And of course, that is, whoopsies, I opened up the wrong thing. Here it is right over here. Sir Mix-a-Lot there, if you want to listen to some good tunes every once in a while. All right, so FXI, AAL, some of them are starting to pair off now. So NVIDIA is still a big buy, but it's getting a little less over there right now. But yeah, good dips opportunities there again today, 206 for NVIDIA, looking like it's going to make a good play here into the close, closing at day's high. I mean, sure, off the open, it did make that rip up there. And, you know, if you got caught buying a rip off the open right there, it's giving you an out right now. You hold it all day, it goes down against you $6. I do not recommend this. And then it flies back up there to the upside. So giving you a little bit of love, maybe back in for our good friend NVIDIA here at the end of the day. And then honestly, man, I mean, the biggest Jim Cramer thing that he says that I've learned from is just to hold, don't buy, and hold, don't trade. And Apple has just been an absolute dream over the last month. I mean, we had that question, what would you buy at the beginning of the month there?
Oh, shoot,
I mean, Apple is just a blast right here. 270, 280 upside right here. And we still wonder if they're going to get that Chinese regulation or the U.S. approval of buying Chinese RAM.
Guess what won?
So we'll wait to see there. My guess is going to be Apple.
Well, it's hilarious because we did this poll in the morning, and this is the third time that we've done this poll. We don't put the entire Mag 7 on. We usually pick, I think we're always, I say we, but I'm pretty sure we don't put Tesla on this poll, and I'm pretty sure we have not been putting Microsoft on this poll. We might have, maybe we did last time, but it's which Mag 7 do you like the best? Apple has been tied with Meta for last both times we did this before. Now it's at all-time highs, and now at all-time highs, it gets the most votes at 30%. Alphabet, not surprisingly, comes in at 28%. Alphabet's always top two. Nvidia 23, Amazon only Amazon only 10%, and Meta 9%. So Meta, which has been trending pretty decently, Amazon, which I don't think that's actually pretty good value
I like
here as well.
Amazon. I don't know
why not.
I mean, I like all the Mag 7s, to be honest with you. I don't really love Tesla at these
Right now, Tesla, midst of a pullback. We haven't talked about J&J. I know I said AbbVie was a similar pullback. Same chart, both good. You're getting these guys pulling back 3% after this recent quarter. And this is going to be, look, whatever. Like, I'm buying more AbbVie, but this is, I think you're looking at the same kind of concept here. It's a big parabolic breakout after a long consolidation, and it's still holding the top end of the range, like the very top end of the range. If it does another one of those moves, it's still got plenty of room to run. And you know, when a good company gives you a dip on earnings or post earnings, sometimes you take the win and you grab it up if you can. Sometimes they don't do it. Sometimes they don't give it to you. Every now and then they just blow it out and then continue to go. As I pull up Goldman Sachs here, look at that, fresh all-time highs. Are you surprised? Anybody surprised that Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley touched all-time highs?
Or any of the banks. I mean,
yeah, any of the banks. What was the other bank? BAC.
Yeah, Citigroup, all those names. So here we go. I think we have, to answer this question, I actually was just being kind of funny today. I bought it basically at 135 exactly. So, SpaceX came in. I want to be part of that IPO push there. So people, I got long at 135 too, as well. So yeah, put a little bit in today. I think that makes a little bit of sense. I put a little bit in at 170 on the first day as well. So, not a great look on the first day, but a little bit in again at 135. So we'll take an average price now of about $1.50. And yeah, it is a long-term play, and we'll just wait to see where it goes from here. I think it's an upgrade or two away to getting back into the 40s again. And then we just wait for that report, which I don't think is going to be very good. And on that day, maybe you buy a little bit more. But, I see people in the chat, Felon Musk and all this stuff, Felon Musk instead of Elon and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I know there still is a lot of sort of, people don't like Elon, some people love him, and so on and so forth. So I just want SpaceX to do the talking for itself, right? And so we'll see what the numbers show up with. You can see what AT&T's been doing to the downside as, people worried about Starlink and people worried about, this internet in the sky and what this all means for a lot of these sort of legacy companies. But I believe in a little bit of SpaceX there. So, is it going to be part of my portfolio? Yes. Right now, it's like under 1% of my Roth or our RRSP around here, that's for sure. I shouldn't even say I'm not even.
Is it RSP or TFSA?
I have that probably in RS, or I don't know. I might hold it in both at the end of the day. This is sponsored by VinFast. They're into it. I'll double check. I think it's probably TFSA for right now.
Because I went RSP. This is in the long term for me.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter, but I do it psychologically.
Yeah, I mean,
I do it psychologically myself.
At our age, I almost think it's better. I want to put everything into TFSA because it's growing tax-free.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what it means for us. So if I actually think SpaceX is a long-term play, then I'd rather pay no tax on it. I'll let Neil pay the tax in the registered account.
But it just means I don't plan on selling. I don't
have plan on selling either. But why pay tax
all the way to the end? Well, I had more funds available in that. Like I just sold something in my TFSA that allowed me to deploy in AbbVie.
Yeah.
That's basically what it came. It's just a cash thing. And it's like where the cash is.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, where the cash.
I just I'm trying to put I put Marvell TFSA, Palantir TFSA, all this, so you can realize that.
Like ARM.
And then I still have some in the RSP too. I mean, it's not. I just want to give a big shout out here. Thank you, Peter. He's here all the time. So a big shout out to Peter Beck coming through there bravely. Thank you so much for TikTok as well, and everybody that's been here on the chat all day. We just want to say a big thank you to you as well, Michael, Save Man Money Woman, there, Commodity King, and everybody that's with us every single day, especially on TikTok. We're trying to grow that community. So a big shout out to everybody on there. There it is. What's up, Yeti? There he is. Yeti, have a great. Oh, thanks, guys. We had a great afternoon. So, yeah, thank you so much. Stay out of the smoke. We cannot.
There's nothing you can do about
it. We are.
It's crazy.
It's not the smoke show that I'm looking for when I go outside. But hold on a second here. Do not, please, nobody, nobody screen cap that or whatever. Send that to anybody right now. Okay, so right here, let's just go over here. Let's go to maps, and then we'll go over here, and we'll go to here. And I want to show everybody, just because we've been talking about this, you can actually go to fire and smoke. Right now, it's not good, man. This is what it's looking like right here. See this blue dot? That's the T dot right there. So it's starting to get bad. And maybe if I zoom out a little bit here, We can see what's coming through. So a couple forest fires in the north, big ones there in Thunder Bay. Over the last little while, we're starting to go. And if I do this, so right now I mean, if you guys are in Syracuse, anywhere sort of on the east coast of the United States, you're seeing what's happening. And I have some bad news for you. It's coming for you, man. And it's not going to be great. This is this morning. Sorry, this is tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. It's not going to get much better around here for us anyways. And as you can see, it bleeds down. And look, I just hope everyone's safe. And especially if you do have, some conditions, whether or not it's just breathing, asthma. I'm
stay indoors.
Doctor, but
no, but if you got to stay indoors.
To your point, when I went outside for the walks here this afternoon, man, a lot of people wearing masks and completely something that I think you should maybe do. What's up, Sia?
So the score is 0-0 right now. It is not progressed at all. But this is why I think Argentina could potentially lose today, but you never know. They're always good in the second half of the game.
Okay.
Go England.
Okay, we'll see. Right now we did look at the odds. The odds at the beginning was a favor for England.
Yeah, now that's tightening up for sure.
Yeah, it must be closer to 1-1 right now. I mean, as the game goes on.
Has to.
Wait a minute, this is halftime, yeah. So no, same odds. Huh. It was -130 before, it's -130 right now and +100. It's got a little worse for Argentina, was +105.
Really?
But that makes sense. If it was 0-0 at the beginning, I mean, it's still the same prediction. I saw it's a whopping 2 shots on net
I just
for
always
each team, so very exciting.
I would just thought the logic would be like the closer any probability gets to a penalty shootout's a coin flip.
Yes.
So therefore, the closer you get to that potentiality, the closer you should get to par. But you still have another half and then extra time as well. So
and then here's something that if you don't care about soccer or football, you might care about this. Now we're even getting, talking about odds. Right now it's 90% chance of a rate maintain at July 29th. So
don't fight the Fed.
July 29th right now. Do not fight the Fed. It looks like they will. It looks like they'll give you the green light to keep investing. You always would think a raise is not great for the stock market, and why is that? And I'll tell you, it's quite easy. The money markets are going to react to whatever this rate is, right? So if you go up to 375 to 4, all of a sudden your cash just becomes a little bit. Yo, what's up, Joe? You don't have to wear those. It's too smoky outside.
Exactly.
I don't know if you can see properly when you're walking around over there.
More importantly, Sean, bubbles don't burst without rate hikes.
Yeah, that was
the dot-com. How many times did they raise
was that Joe
during
or
the
Pitbull?
dot-com bubble?
The
dot-com bubble burst. There was at least 4 or 5 raises. Maybe, I don't know. ChatGPT, it was more than 4 or 5 raises for that.
Or just go back to COVID and you'll see a little bit of a run on the raise. Okay, good show here. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. Join all of us tomorrow right here. A big thank you to Sia, who has left, by the way. Sia's just like, you know what?
She's right there.
Thing. I know.
She's literally right there.
I know you. I'm saying you left the people, okay? Sia had her thing about England and now she's gone. There she is. Hi, Sia. Thank you for everything today. Have a great evening. Thank you to Adara, who's always looking up more graphics. Big Joe over here, man. Thank you for staying with us as well. And Sia, so what are you Argentina or England? Put those things away,
this
Joe.
Guy, man.
I've already told you. See, I can't do that anymore.
Wow, come on, Joe.
I have a court order to not, the guns have to stay in, but Joe putting them out. Yeah, it's a long story. So what do you think, England or Argentina?
I support.
You know what?
All right.
You know what to say.
No,
I got a death stare. I can't speak on it.
You don't even.
England.
Is your mic even on?
Yes.
She says
Okay,
England, everybody.
Okay, good.
No.
Yep, she said England.
She said England. She said England.
Yeah, she just whispered
Sia said England, everybody.
I think she said England by 2 there. I think
she did.
Even might have said there. Thank you to Sharif, Fabian, everybody that's in the back there. Tiffany, what's up to Andre as well? Hey, what happened to 1 today?
Oh, shoot.
Come on, you didn't realize he wasn't here, my guy?
He wasn't here yesterday either.
Oops. Okay, well, hopefully 1 is okay. All right. Brendan. He's not here either. All right. Ramin. Are you here, Ramin? Where's Ramin at? Over there. I think she's over there somewhere. All right, man. We will see everybody tomorrow. Sorry about that one.